We're nowhere. Oh, we're somewhere. Here we are. Hey, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry after Christmas. Merry un-Christmas.
Hey, K Munin. And we got Austin Beard here. How are you? And we got Brandon from Kentucky Mud.
Uh-huh.
How are you? And we got Brian. Hey, how are you?
Joining
And
us
what's
today, and
good?
that was Kentucky Mud again.
Yeah.
What's good? I don't know. What's bad? What's some things are good and some things are not. As the
Yeah.
case may be, obviously we were not live yesterday.
Yeah.
We were not live yesterday. Took a little bit of a break, but here we are now. There is Raccoon.
Hey, Raccoon Eyes. How are you?
We got your card, Raccoon.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
We
Thank you.
got your
Thank you.
card.
Hey, Pastor Rick.
Rick.
And we got
And
William
William is
Randall.
joining us as well.
Hey, William
And,
Randall.
Robert, is it Saturday? Yes, it's Saturday. You have lost track of time entirely.
Hey, we got Lou. Hey, Lou.
Oh, Lou is there.
How is everybody? Hope y'all had uneventful week, but I'm pretty sure it was because it was oh boy. I was about to say Thanksgiving. It was Christmas.
It was Thanksgiving.
So-
It's just a little while ago. Goes back a bit.
So I hope you're that whatever the event was, it was joyful and happy and all of that, and you enjoyed yourself and you ate a lot and had family and friends over, or at
And
least
kept it
people
down.
around wanted to be around. Hello, who's that? Mima?
Meemaw.
Hey, Mima. Mima is grandma.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. John is
And we
here.
got John. And Lou had a crazy week. So I
Yeah.
hope it wasn't too stressful. But I know that Christmas can be a stressful time with family and friends. And then you get all weirded out because you buy gifts and you're hoping everybody likes it and
Oh yeah,
all of this and that there. It can be, society has made it very stressful.
that's true.
It has. It really has.
That's why
Especially when it comes down to gift buying.
I identify with Scrooge in that regard. It's like, humbug.
Yeah, our Christmas was okay. My mom came over, went to the nursing home, got her,
Mm.
and
Yes. And
she she came
tell us about it.
she came over, and that happened, and then we took Haley. Haley, how are you?
Oh man.
So that happened. But it was just the three of us, me, her, and David. And we ate and had a good time.
Uh-huh.
Watched a lot of movies because I was actually kind of sick. Not sick, but had like a cold, just blowing my nose all over the place. So, just like a little cold. So I pretty much stayed in and watched like every movie that I had saved on the watch list. So
Uh-huh.
I'm all movie watched out. I don't
I
want to
see.
see another movie. I don't want to watch TV for a while. All of those memory
He's talking about Migo 4
packs
packs.
starting.
Yeah, because they're Migo's getting into the 4 packs again.
I heard I was watching MIB
Yeah.
and he was talking about the 4-pack that got canceled. Some people
Yeah.
pre-orders got canceled like right after they ordered it. It wasn't like some time. It was like a couple of hours later.
And I was thinking about doing a video with that about that because you know what that is, don't you, Lou? That's the artificial demand model. Please note Migo. Please note Funko. Please take a look
I
at
don't
Funko.
know if that's
Sure it is. With Disney in charge, that got screwed up? No,
I
it got
think it
screwed up
was-
on purpose.
I think it was more Disney was like, well, our Marvel shows ain't doing good anyway, so people might not want it. So we're not gonna make them 1,000. We're not gonna make
We don't put
10,000.
it up for sale and then cancel everyone's order.
They didn't cancel everyone
yeah?
because Johnny said his did not get canceled.
Oh, okay.
And then he was saying that somebody had did like a unofficial Facebook survey to try to pinpoint
Mm-hmm.
who got canceled because he said that he bought his straight out. No coupons, no QR codes, no gimmicks.
I see.
He just bought it straight out. But some people had coupons for like 25% off or something, QR code, this and that. And some of those people's stuff got canceled.
Oh, so AI was programmed to make errors happen for people who had coupons. Is that what happened? Who had codes? Oops, your order. Oh, oops, there's a problem with your order. Oops. Yeah.
But the thing I found weird is because he was saying that you could only get 2. So of course he got the max. So I would have just canceled one of everybody's that got 2 and give it to the other person that had none. You know what I mean? Like if you got 2 and I wasn't able to get 1, I would have took one of yours and gave it to the person that had none. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Instead of just canceling you out altogether, at least everybody got 1. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, but now everybody has to pay full price. Win-win for Disney. Anyways, William says he's sick for the rest of the year.
Oh, wow, me too. I mean, I'm
cartoons.
still sniffing.
Space Ghost, Dino Boy, Spider-Man. There you go.
Taking meds, hot tea, vitamins, rest, and cat snuggles. Oh. That's what I've been doing all week, drinking hot tea and, stuff like that. Oh, yeah, Amiga full pack. Yeah, Jimmy Carter died after that.
Union took a road trip to Walmart. They made the best business decision ever. They doubled the size of the anime section. Shame on you.
Okay.
And FASA fan has joined us.
Hey, how are you?
As well as BrolyCon
and Thomas
Sawyer.
Hey, Thomas. And we got BrolyCon, like you said.
Links.
And we got Links. And we got John.
He got the Captain Kirk from Mego.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
As we catch up
and make sure we say hey to everybody.
Oh, yeah, and of course. If you
found a double VCR DVD. Whoa. I see a lot of those in Walmart, the VCR DVD combo. I'm afraid to get that because if one go down, all go down.
And then Mego, of course, while we're on the subject of
Hey, Uncarded Reviews. Sorry.
You're fine. Lou sent me these. You sent me this Shogun puzzle from HG Toys, courtesy of Mattel. I made the video yesterday if you didn't see it. And he sent me this, and that's the color forms. And what was the other one? The Magic Picks, or it was like a rub-on toy.
What are you talking about? The color form?
Not color forms. It was like color forms, but you permanently put the images on the paper, unlike color forms where you could peel it off.
Yeah.
And it was what the hell did they used to call those?
Yeah, we went to Big Lots last week, bought a bunch of candles.
Presto Magics.
Oh, okay.
With an X. Who remembers Presto Magics?
Not a lot of people.
No, they used to give those to us at school. I used to get a bunch of those in like 5th grade, I think. But yeah, Lou sent me these. Thanks again, Lou.
But yeah, we did go to Big Lots because everything is on clearance because they're shutting down. We went last week.
Not anymore.
They're not shutting down now?
No. They
changed their mind?
They've gotten into some kind of weird business deal, and they're going to be able to keep some of the stores open. And Jesse Say Watt is here. He says he's feeling sick.
I got some good deals on some candles, so I don't care. They can do whatever. Yeah, I mean, got a little cold and stuff, and so does oh gosh, somebody else said so. William Randall. And now you got one. Yeah, I guess it's spreading through the live stream and sending it out to everybody.
So viruses are truly viral now. Munin says, I don't think artificial demand model works anymore, especially with Funko. Look how easy it is to find, chase, rare pop. Well, people are sick of it with Funko now, though.
Who's that?
Kuchatron.
What's that anime?
I don't know.
Hey, Kuchatron. Tron.
And Lou wants to know when's the T-shirts, sweatshirts, and bumper stickers for sale. Would anybody actually buy them?
No.
We know people that have tried that, and they make like coffee mugs and T-shirts and stuff, and they sell like 2. And Hercules.
Hey, Hercules, how are you?
Is here as well.
Then we got Frankenfrog.
Hey, everybody.
And we got, you sound like you're on the mend.
Yeah. She wasn't feeling well for a couple of days.
Yeah, so I stayed in the house. I didn't go outside for about 2 days.
John says nice Shoguns. Yeah, Mattel Shogun Warriors.
Hey, out
It's
of sight.
classic. It's
How are you?
classic. Lou, here's something for you. Look at that, Lou. You know you want one. Lou wants this.
No, he don't.
He does now that he's seen it. 1977
Oh,
Kentucky Fried Chicken. And Link says, happy
the
both the VCR DVD work. My mother has the one she bought the VCR. It doesn't work.
yeah. I'm scared to get the combo, so I'm gonna get. Well, we got DVD players. We got. I don't know. It seemed like we got like 10 DVD players. We got a lot of DVD players. So we just need a VCR.
Yes.
Because we got a couple of VCR tapes. I saw that. The
Pixel Dan
Voltron.
talking
Yeah.
about that wired remote controlled Voltron
Yeah.
with the gigantic feet.
Yeah.
I've seen those before, and they're usually beat up pretty good. So he found one that's in pretty decent shape.
Lou's big lot is gone.
Oh, you're way behind.
I know.
Shelby Rockstar.
Hey, Shelby.
It says that display action figures in or out of the package always remain in the package if ever plan to resell, but forever pieces make us want to unpackage for dynamic displays.
You know a good cartoon that covers that? Raggedy Ann and Andy Christmas Special.
Christmas Special, yeah, from the 1970s.
Oh my God. They had, I don't know the name of the villain.
Yeah,
but
the villain looks and sounds like Wile E. Coyote, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
He really does. It's done by the same people.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to fix toy collecting for people. Remember, this is like 1973 or something, right? And I know I ran over your story. I'm sorry.
No, he created this machine to preserve all toys.
Yes.
And he takes the toys, put it through the machine, and it comes out in this acrylic case.
Yeah, and it's sealed in a case.
Yeah, and Raggedy Ann is like, but how do you play with it? And Andy is like, oh man, this is great. We can preserve our toys for the rest of
And the coyote was like, why would you want to play with it and ruin it? Now it's perfect forever. I was like, oh, that's fantastic.
That was a brilliant cartoon.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna make a copy of it, and I'm going to insert proper 70s commercials, and I'm gonna put it on the channel. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And I forget what he calls it, but it perfectly forms around everything and seals it.
Yeah.
And she was like, but you can't touch it anymore. And you can't. And he was like, why would you want to?
Yeah, you get your nasty fingerprints all over it. Man, it was hilarious. Everything he put in that machine came out in this perfect acrylic case.
Yeah.
Let me see. Thomas says, Merry Christmas to me later this month. I'm picking up an Evel Knievel
Huffy White.
Wow.
The one that he got stolen in 76.
Wow. Oh,
Excellent.
man. I want to see that. See, I put the pictures up on Facebook.
Yeah, please do.
Oh, yeah. Your Big Lots is gone. I don't know if ours is leaving. They had the sale, the blowout sale. But I mean, they could have just pulled everything down and put the prices back to normal. But I got a ton of candles before that happened.
Link says they no longer have that combo in Walmart because they used to sell the VCR DVD combo in Walmart.
Yeah.
But now people are getting into cassette tapes. That's true because they're dirt cheap. You can pick up a cassette tape for $1.
Yeah, yeah. But I do want a VCR, and every time I go to Goodwill, I see one. But I'm scared to get it because I don't know if it's gonna work.
And Frankenfrog says he got a new Batman for Christmas and he ripped him again. You gotta be
What's
easy.
a Batman?
When in the early to mid 90s, when they brought back the second incarnation of Stretch Armstrong and they made an actual cartoon this time based on the character, they gave him a villain called Batman, and he has a valve on his neck that you insert like a bike pump thing on, and you suck the air out, and it contorts his body.
William Randall said half of his store's sick, so they couldn't go to work because only 2 people were available.
Link says he's lucky if I can find ones at yard sales, thrift stores, and Goodwill.
Yeah,
well, you gotta test it at the thrift store.
Yeah, they usually have a little setup at. I know at our Goodwill they got a little setup, and you can plug things up and kind of get it working, I guess. But I don't know. Our Goodwill, they get ridiculous with those prices sometimes because they had some stereos come through there for like $300, and you're like, why would I want to spend $300 for a stereo? at
Yeah.
Goodwill. I just bought a Bluetooth jukebox for $30. It's nice. I like jukeboxes. That's
Jukebox is a
great.
classic. There's
Hmm.
the
The
original
yellow one.
next to this, the 1972, 1977. See how they saved on that plastic? 72, 77. See how that reflects through? He can see your soul.
Oh, good son.
Da-da-da. He looks like he's made out of butter.
Yeah, we like watching the Wheel of Fortune, but the real old one when you could
Yes.
go and shop.
Yes.
The one where you can shop is the best.
The only thing, though, of course, is that you shop for what they present to you. They put up the showcase, and you have to pick things, and you can tell sometimes that people they're like they don't want nothing in that showcase,
Yeah.
and like, ah, I
Hey
I'll
Kaiser,
take
how are you?
I'll take the end tables for 450.
You don't have to buy.
And no, I know you can roll it over, but there's a limit.
Yeah, and then if you hit bankrupt, you lose what
Everything.
yeah,
So
what you got
you're
rolled
better
over.
off. You're
Yeah,
better
just
off
buying it.
just buying something, but they come up with stuff, and I'll
Yeah.
take the coat rack for 175, and yeah,
Hey
it's a
Patrick.
bunch of garbage. Lee remembers VHS and
VCR.
DVD combos. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they used to sell those at Walmart. And links testing the VCR DVD players if they work. My Goodwill has power outlets. Yeah, there
Yeah.
usually is in most thrift stores. There's a strip somewhere
Yeah.
built into at least one of the gondolas that you can plug things into to see whether or not they work. And I highly recommend doing that because none of them are going to take back any electronics.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can return clothing, but if it's an electronic goods that you purchase and you try to bring it back, you're just going to end up redonating it.
Yeah.
Munin says at the Walmart, the NECA figures were in clearance. Star Wars McFarlane wrestling unsold even after Christmas.
Found funny there gardening cassettes. Ah,
Yeah,
cassette
they
tapes of
made
gardening.
VHS for everything.
Yeah, they did.
And Lynx remembers watch them watch them gardening.
I had to get those five. I have a 5 disc changer DVD player.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. I do want the new Marvel Migos. Those are the ones that were taken back.
Yes, he says the trouble I went through was enough to give a stroke. We'll wait till maybe mid-year and try again. Yeah, don't buy it aftermarket.
Yeah,
When
because people are gonna go
because
crazy.
there's some crazy aftermarket prices on that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ryan Seacrest is taking over Wheel of Fortune.
Well, he was the last original like professional, and we talked about that in one of our discussion videos recently. TV shows that need to go away. Wheel of
Yeah.
Fortune's one of them.
Yeah.
Because
And we not Wheel of Fortune.
Jeopardy.
Bob Barker.
Yeah,
Price is
Price
Right.
is Right. All of that stuff, because they don't have dedicated, honest to God, game show hosts anymore, and that was a huge thing for decades, going all the way back to 40s, really, with game shows back when they used to rig them. But that there was something to be said for that, and now they just hire some retired comedian or
Yeah.
whatever, and it's just not the same thing. It's not the same thing. These legacy game show hosts.
Vanna White makes like $5 million to flip those things that touch that little button. Because I remember when she used to flip it, now she just touch it. And they actually had a thing on her about 3-4 years ago, because she hasn't gotten a raise in, I don't know, 20-30 years.
Yeah.
But she makes like $5 million.
She don't care.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, you tell me go over there and mash the side of that thing so the lettuce could come off, and you're gonna give me $5 million a year. I will mash all of the blocks you want me to mash. You don't have to give me another dime. Give me my $5 million a year, and I'll go sit down somewhere. I mean, sometimes you just gotta realize you making a lot of money to do nothing. The woman works. Okay, if you count it up in weeks, she worked, let me see, 2.5 hours a week, because it's a half-hour game show. 5 shows. 5.5 hours a week. for 52 weeks and she get $5 million. I ain't saying a word.
Yeah.
I will go right. You say run over there and touch it. I will run. I'll skip. I'm gonna hit that button and I'm gonna go sit down somewhere and keep my mouth closed because I got $5 million and I didn't work hard. She don't have to say nothing. You know, she said, "Hey, everybody, thank you for watching, whatever."
Yeah.
You know, but she don't have nothing to do. I mean, shoot, she's still on there now. I thought she would have left after Pat Sajak, but again, you make it $5 million. What's there to? You can do that in at 80. You
I
know,
have no
there's
idea.
nothing. Nothing to sneeze at. Oh, okay.
Johnny says that's true, or John
Mm-hmm.
says that's true about game show hosts. Yeah, there's no legacy game show
No,
hosts left. It's
everybody's
not the
dead.
same. It's the same thing with all, and I made the same argument about the late shows. There's no legacy late show hosts left either. It's a bunch of really, really bad comedians who don't even write their own material. They're awful.
But they're not even funny,
No,
and they're
they're not.
loud. And I saw the commercial for Jeopardy. Jeopardy used to be I used to call it like the nerd show. Everybody was straight laced, well dressed. It was a quiet show. Now they got all these lights and it still make me feel like the contestants aren't real people. I really don't believe that the contestants on a modern day um, game show are real people. I think they're actors. They either in acting school, they got them from the community acting guild, they got them for something, but they're not real people that came to the studio and waited in line and got a ticket and now they're waiting for their name to get called.
It feels phony now.
Yeah.
It feels really phony.
Because if you watch old game shows and you see how those people act, they can't keep still. They jumping up and down. They nervous. They can barely talk. Now everybody's all relaxed. They making jokes. They throwing their hands around, and it's like, what are you doing? What?
And Eric says a lot of the game shows are shot in bulk over a couple of months,
Yeah.
and then the talent has the rest of the year to do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do bulk them.
And I know here in Atlanta, they film the Wheel of Fortune on Mondays. They film them on Mondays for a whole week. So every Monday they would film a week worth of shows.
Yes.
And so I mean the rest of the week you're just off doing whatever. Oh, thank you, Pastor Rick.
Yeah, Pastor
really
Rick made a donation to the channel for the kitty fund. Always appreciated. We need all the help we can get with our felines.
No, it's not Sunday now. We're doing it Sunday today because we didn't do it yesterday. And hello, Johnny. Game show hosts are retiring like Wheel of Fortune. Yeah.
Johnny Future there is the one who sent us, or we showed it last time.
Bob Barker passed away? Yes, I don't think so.
Yeah, Bob Barker.
When? Last week?
No, last year.
No,
I think it was last year. Someone tell her. The one that gave her the Slim Jim display.
Oh, yeah.
And gave me a bunch of vintage crack magazines, including a couple that were autographed by Lee Majors. And that was really nice. That was really nice of him.
Yeah, we talked about David Letterman and the late night wars in a recent thing. I used to like Dave Letterman. Well, okay, I never watched the show. His top 10, a radio station. That top
10 was infamous.
Yeah, a radio station that I used to listen to would play his top 10 every morning. They would just pull out that segment and play it every morning.
Yeah.
And I would listen to it because his top 10s were good. They were funny. Tom Snyder was a weird but great host. Late Night with Devil. I guess that's David. Reminded me of him. I don't know who that is. Tom Snyder.
Sounds familiar. But that was during.
Hey, Stone Sour.
Yeah, Stone Sour has joined us. Wants to know if we have New Year's plans. No, keeping the cats calm in case people set off fireworks. But yeah, when Johnny stepped aside, when Johnny made that surprise announcement, hey, I'm retiring, and nobody knew, not even the producers knew, and everybody tried to fill the void and says, let's get out late night shows as quick as we can and try to take Johnny's place, and
Yeah.
nobody really could pull it off. And then Arsenio walked away because
Yeah.
of creative differences, and
I
then
liked his show. Now I used to watch his.
uh-huh.
I really did like his show. I thought it was funny. He had a lot of guests that I like. Um, I liked his show. And then he went off.
Yes. And then Leno came in, and I was never really a big fan of Leno, to be honest. I didn't care for Leno's approach as as much as Johnny's. And then, of course, David Letterman, he took his act to CBS because NBC screwed him over. And then they replaced him with Conan O'Brien, and I didn't care for Conan O'Brien either. You know, it's never been the same. It's never quite been the same. William says he'd love to work at 1 day a week for $5 million a year. I know.
You wouldn't hear a word come out of my mouth. Oh, he died. Oh, yeah.
Shelby Rockstar says that, of course, Bob Barker always said spay and neuter your pets.
Yeah, at the end of the show. Oh, he died in 2023.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't realize he died. Original studio Price is Right is moving to a new one. Can't remember where. Heard it's been that studio for.
Yeah, Lynx says that.
The CBS studio. I read something interesting about that. A couple of days ago.
Hollywood City,
yeah. Which was CBS studio. They bought that thing back in the 50s and then sold it in 2018 just to rent it back. And I just thought that was weird that you would buy something in the 50s. Not, you should have had it paid off. I'm not sure. It is California. But then you rent the space back. Just seemed like you didn't save a dime.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Sometimes the more practical gifts are the best gifts. Something you can actually use.
Yes, Edwin
year,
there.
Yeah, 1 year I got a leaf blower, man. I was so happy for that leaf blower. Because,
oh my God.
Because I actually needed one, but I wasn't ever going to buy one. And my cousin bought me one, and boy, I was happy for that leaf blower.
Johnny was off work yesterday. Okay. He's going to work tonight. See, Johnny? I don't know about you, man. And Robert says Snyder had a show before Letterman and Conan came on.
Oh, okay.
It's hard. I don't remember them all. Pastor Rick says Bob Barker, yeah,
he
also
was 99. Yeah,
99
he was almost
years old.
100 years old.
And John says he bought NECA Arnold Schwarzenegger from the Terminator Dark Fate movie.
Oh, okay. Probably was on clearance at Walmart.
I hope it was on clearance. Did you get a good price on it?
I hope so.
Or did you get beat up? I hope you got a good price on it. You always hope everybody gets the deals. Now's the time to get the deals.
That after Christmas deal.
Even at the shows, I mean, if the new stuff, and it seems like it's almost invading the shows, all of the new product, all of the NECA, modern NECA figures, all the modern Ninja Turtles, all of the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified and Black Series and Legends figures. There's just swarms of them at these shows, even the McFarlane stuff, and it's not even like retail anymore, and as well as Funko, and you see lots and lots and lots of it at many of these shows. But what most people, and that's always the feedback I get, what they really want to see is vintage, and it's hard also on newer shows, people that are starting to get a show going, because these are the people that are going to come in first.
Yeah.
So you come to a show, a convention that's just getting started, and you see tons of Marvel Legends and Hasbro Star Wars Black Series and Funko Pops, and you're like, oh, I'm not coming back here. But until there's enough of a draw for that show, vendors that have true vintage aren't going to show up, and that creates kind of an interesting paradox. But yeah, you see so much of that new stuff at all of these shows now. And now, if you ever wanted any of it, now's the time, because you never know in the future. But again, even when we were at the last retro swap, we were seeing some of those figures like $5-10, sealed in the box. Great prices if you wanted it. And I feel bad though for anybody who was buying that stuff at retail.
How do you mess with somebody with a leaf blower?
Kate Newton
No.
wants to know,
I
did you
use
mess
it to
with people
blow
with the low
leaves.
people?
That's what you use a leaf blower for. You use it to blow leaves. I
Yeah.
got mine loose.
So
Okay.
yeah, John got it for $18. That's not bad.
Haven't a NECA in air.
I haven't
Okay.
bought a Necker
Okay.
since 2019. And Robert,
Going to store. Oh, okay.
going to the store for a soda.
Yeah, for soda pop. I'm gonna throw some questions up.
Oh,
Um, and the one I had put up, and you can just throw your answers out. Fondest holiday memory.
don't ask me.
No, we ain't asking David nothing.
Oh
We're
no.
trying to keep it
Any
light-hearted.
decent holiday memory I had, you were around. But
Yeah, I remember when NECA was 18, well, $24. When I started getting into toys, NECA was at the $24 stage.
mhm.
And then it bumped up to 26 and people was like, "Oh my god, how did it get so much?" And now like you say it's $50. Shows have become a dump.
Like
Yeah.
William says, well, these people, they
Yeah.
bought all this stuff thinking that they were gonna, because vintage stuff got to be so expensive, and they sat there and they said it's a logical deduction until you slow down and think about it. And I've talked about it many, many times, where people are like, oh wow, if I get on board with this now,
Yeah.
I'll buy these now while they're on clearance or whatever, and I can flip them and I'll retire. But it doesn't occur to them again. A lot of the vintage stuff, the stuff you see back here, try finding it in this condition. We opened and played with all
Yeah.
of this stuff. We opened and played with it and had a good time. Very little of it survived in the packaging. Even loose, really clean examples aren't out there because you played with it, you broke it, you lost pieces, you got it dirty, you cracked something, whatever.
Yeah.
But so these modern figures, these new Migos, these Hasbro Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series and G.I. Joe Classified and McFarlane Superpowers, almost that, like, probably 1 out of 100 of them are getting opened. And the rest of them, their packaging, it's perfect because I buy the new Migos. How many people do you know doing this? You see them. They buy 10 off the rack and they stack them real neatly with a nice little piece of tissue paper in between and put them away in the box. And guess what? It's not gonna skyrocket in price. It's the supply and demand model with vintage toys. You don't find this stuff. You don't find here. Let me just grab anything here. That's sealed. How many of these? I mean, it's got a big old sticker on it, but how many of these do you think are sealed still? Kids opened and played with these back in those days. This is tough to find like this. But if it was being manufactured today, 1,000 people would buy 20 of these and keep them in a case and never open it.
Yeah.
And it would be, in the future, there'll be thousands of flawless examples available.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be worth
Yeah,
anything.
it floods the market. I mean, I can grab stuff from all over the place here. You just don't find that stuff.
John's fondest memory was spending Christmas Eve at his grandparents' house.
Okay.
And no, Edwin, I never use my leaf blower to blow out the inside of my car. I use it to blow out the garage, to blow leaf off of the driveway and from in front of the house,
Yeah.
and to blow the leaves out of the gutters.
Okay.
And I don't know who would blow dirt in people's face or while they're eating. I mean, you're outside blowing leaves in the yard. Who's outside eating? So I don't even know what that means. But I don't blow. If a car comes, I turn away. So
Any
that
video that you see like that is staged, by the way.
I mean,
those prank videos are all staged.
I don't know if they prank, because people probably do that, but that's stupid and
It's a good
very
way to
immature.
get shot.
Well, it's stupid and immature. I mean, you see a person walking past, and you using a leaf blower, courtesy or just human decency would say, okay, turn away, don't blow dust, dirt, debris on a person. I wouldn't do that. I mean, even if I don't like you, I'm not going to do that. And then two, I don't know a lot of people that eat outside, but if you're outside eating, I'm not going to blow leaves or debris. And then even if we burn in trash, if my neighbor got their clothes hanging on the line, we don't burn trash because the smoke is going to get into their clean
Yeah.
laundry. I mean, that's just being a good neighbor, being a
Mhm.
good, decent person. So no, I don't do stuff like that.
Stone Sour says NECA Krampus is 100.
What?
I don't. Yeah, I'm shocked. I am shocked. I don't believe it. John says my favorite memories.
We read that
oh,
one
you
already.
did read that. Pixel Dan never seen a Voltron like that before. That's why he got it. Really, target of opportunity.
Yeah,
I've seen it, but usually it's not in great shape. And it's even if it's not working. I think he said it wasn't working because I saw that video. At least he's got the box with it, so it can display it really nice.
Wow, that's cool. One year seemed like 20 of us cousins passed around in early Space Invaders handheld and laughed and played and had a great time.
That's Meemaw.
Yeah, Meemaw, that's one of their fondest memories. How many Meagle collectors are there actually? The fact the new Meagles being
produced are nothing like the original, says
right.
Ken Noonan. Yeah, the quality is not the same. It's not. There's a lot of complaints about that. A lot of complaints about that from people who collect Mego, who are nostalgic about the original Mego, and they buy the new ones, and they're like, wow, they're not holding up. They break easy. There's all kinds of problems.
That same year, Santa bought Mima Shogun Godzilla, even though I had too old to love that
kind of toy.
Oh, so wow, that's cool. At least you got some
Shogun
cool stuff.
Godzilla is awesome. John says, I opened my Mego figures. I figure the only vintage ones are worth keeping in package. New toys are for opening. Vintage toys are worth protecting. And Lee says, Star Wars figure being only a few dollars in the 1980s. Yeah, I mean, where have I got one hanging here? I'll show you something real quick.
How my dad was able to stable all of my relatives together.
Stick that.
Some I love to see and others no comment. That's like all family members. Some of them you're glad they came by. Some of them you wish they didn't come at all.
Yeah.
Mom's folks had a big white Christmas tree with one of those rotating color changers that sounded like a biplane taking off.
See, there's a if I get the glare off of it. That's the Gamorrean Guard, obviously, and he's on the Tri-Logo card, okay? Just to make the point, because this has the original price tag still on it. So there's your Gamorrean Guard on the card, and there's your original price tag. KB, 50 cents.
Wow, 50
Two
cents.
for $1. I mean, that's when I was collecting them, because you could still, I mean, even in the early 90s, you could still find this stuff at KB for this price. And now how much is this? I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 for $1. I've even seen them 3 for $1 with KB price tags on final clearance. So especially those Power of the Force ones, you see a lot of those price tags on.
Edwin just open up all of the doors and take the leaf blower and blow the car out so he won't have to vacuum. The bandless Migos aren't as great. I guess they don't have a band.
Yeah, I've heard about a lot of issues with broken elbows and all sorts of things.
Dad's folks were Cajun, and we had swamp Christmas down there, down to the camp cheer. I really miss those times. Wow, that's different. At least it's something else.
Or see, here's a Visionaries.
Yeah.
And then there's that KB price tag again, if I can get it in there. I don't know if I can. There it is. 2 for $1. 50 cents. Unbelievable. I mean, Visionaries, man, these are tough to find on the card now.
Yeah. You got a couple Visionaries.
I have a couple. I mean, you could see this.
But they're expensive.
It's not in the best condition, but you can't find these.
Yeah. Now, speaking of toys that are not in the best condition. If you find a toy, I mean, it's rare, ultra, ultra, ultra rare.
Yeah.
And when I say rare, I really mean it. It never comes up. I memean, you might see it pop up every 5 years or something. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
But when you see it, it's in decent condition. It's okay. But then you get it and it's damaged in the mail because of our great postal system.
Oh, here we go.
Do you keep it or do you return it? And this is for everyone. And Lou, I know what you're going to say because you already told me what to do once. And I had to think about it, and I actually did what Lou told me, and David said the same thing. So now I'm asking everybody, Lou, I'm asking David, I'm asking everybody in the room. If it's super rare, I mean, it rarely ever comes up. And then it comes up, and it's slightly damaged. It's not bad, but you know, the box isn't like minty fresh.
Yeah.
It's not hot off the presses, but it's a little bit damaged. But you got it at a good price.
Like you got that in the mail.
No, you ain't got that in the mail. You got it in the mail and the box is messed up. But this blister is kind of like falling off. But it wasn't like that on eBay.
Yeah.
Do you keep it or do you return it?
Yeah, because you can't find carded auto, man.
So what do? 2 for $1 on vintage Star Wars toys is the best value ever. The best value ever is free.
Yes, I'll take that.
KB Toys was great for discount, says Lou. And then we got Logic Blaster. How's it going, Blaster. David LPH?
Here's one for you. Red line clearance, 77 cents.
A great 2025. Thank you, Logic Blaster.
Somebody bought this for 77 cents. That's the red line clearance price on that.
Ooh.
77 cents. You can't find this on the card either. What if this came and the figure fell out of the blister?
Yeah. Do you keep it or do you return it?
You can't. The LJN TVs, and that's the TV series, because they did Emergency, SWAT, and Rookies, and it's Mego-like. Do you keep it and just try to work with the seller, or do you like, nah, man, take this back?
John's first Star Wars figure in the 80s was a Power of the Force indoor Luke Skywalker.
Okay, well, you know who my first Star Wars figure is, because I've talked about it before.
They do. We've seen our post person cram that box. I think David did a video.
I did a short because I did a short once because I had to pry it out of the box. It would not come out.
Raccoon Eyes is going to keep it, but keep a lookout for a better one.
You might have to.
Yeah, but boy, the price. I love putting up my aluminum Christmas tree.
I still have. Branches came in paper tubes. Used to pretend I was unsheathing swords, says William.
Lou wants to keep it.
Yeah, you would, Lou. John says if it was vintage, I'd return it. If it was new, I wouldn't care. Oh. And Brian says, is it me or are celebrities' homes more likely to be burglarized or robbed than the average person, despite living in the gated mansions with other security? They're often targets of their own design, because it's not even because you have people who are ultra wealthy and have even bigger and grander homes that never get bothered, but then they don't bring entourages to their home to show off either.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be bringing like 500 of your rapper friends to your house to have a party, they're going to come back and they're going to beat you upside the head. One of them, eventually. And that happens a lot.
Yeah. And then I've heard this happen, especially on Craigslist. You will buy like a figure and then you meet a person to pick it up and then they follow you back home because they figure, well, if you want this figure and you're willing to pay $300, how many more figures or whatever do you have?
That happened with a Funko seller some years ago. Remember? It was in the news. He met and did a sale, and blah blah blah. Oh, I've got this one and that one and this one, and they showed up at his house and they robbed him.
Yeah,
and they stole all of his high-end Funkos. But it was a lot of money, though.
Yeah,
it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Shelby says, keep it.
Yep.
Ordered a limited edition Toys R Us Star Wars Trench Run double ship bundle. Box was damaged and shipping gave me the excuse to display the ships.
Okay. I had ordered one of those Bible Great figures. It was a 2-pack.
Mm-hmm.
and it was damaged.
The We Win.
Yeah, the We Win.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the Mary and Joseph. It was one
Okay.
of them hard ones, and it was damaged in shipping. And I kept it. And we showed Lou the picture. He was like, "Oh, you gotta keep it because it never comes up," and it doesn't. It
Yeah.
doesn't come up. I don't know if it was damaged in shipping or I didn't see it good or the guy packed it
Something.
bad, something like that. But I did keep it because it was one that never comes up. So it's like, man, you gotta suck it up and just hope that it comes up again later.
Munin says it depends on how bad the damage was, how good of a deal,
Yeah.
how rare is it. Those are the factors I'd have to look at before deciding.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a lot. You can't just
Yeah,
be like, oh no, it's rare because on eBay you see that word rare on
yeah.
everything, and then you look it up and
Or vintage.
yeah, and 1,000 other people has it on sale. So it's like, why is yours so rare
Yeah.
when 1,000 other people got the same thing?
But there are pieces, and it might not even be that valuable. It might be something that's rare. Yeah, me. Lou suggests Johnny Shendrick is trying to sneak into the house.
Yeah.
He won't dig a tunnel. He's scared of ghosts. But it might not be even that valuable. Like again, the Chattertoads. These aren't worth a fortune. Some of these are very hard to find, like that Pink Panther in the box, or the carded versions down the end there. They're because these also came on the card. You never see these for sale. You never see the carded versions for sale, but they're not worth much more than the boxed ones. So it's like, you know, but if I got one and it was damaged, and I'd have to consider holding on to it because I don't know when I would see another one like this.
John's mother had her house burglarized. It was traumatic, and they stole some jewelry. I had my house robbed twice.
Yeah.
Um, Before me and David were married, we were dating. Um, and I had lived in a nice neighborhood when I moved in.
Uh-oh.
Then it went downhill. But some people were burglarizing, robbing, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah, going up and down the
going
block.
around, and they got to my house, stole some stuff. The police came. They didn't do nothing. They walked around, you know, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I lived there until we got married, and I moved out. But yeah, it's just like, man.
William says I can't enjoy my comics or books. I'm afraid I might sneeze. Hate being sick. Get one of those shields.
Yeah.
Those COVID shields.
Yep. Lee said keep it. I can't.
Yeah.
I would keep it. Because if it's something like I have bought action figures where the blister was separating, and but everything was intact, and I
Yeah.
just glued the blister back on. Or I'll buy a figure and the card has a bend in it or something like that. I'll buy that stuff. Long as you you say that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. What did you say? Love those
Love the
figures. Nice
figures.
job. Yeah, yeah. Those I love those figures. I bought those other Bible ones from some company that I bought them 2 years ago and they haven't come yet. So
Eric says that's why I don't have people over the house. It's
yeah.
rare I have friends over. I feel there are too many weirdos. Yeah, but that's what happens in a lot of those cases. It's they throw parties or they get a big entourage, and it people get to case your home out, basically.
What's the worst shape? Um, a little bit at well when me and David when me and David was married. When we first got married, I was trying to, I figured out he likes action figures before I got into it. I tried to buy him them big old jumbo
Oh,
ones,
the
them
gentle
gentle
giant.
giants.
Yeah, the gentle giant GI
Yeah,
Joes.
I was buying them on Amazon, and they would come. I mean, completely crushed. The whole thing was just crushed. The figures out. I mean, it was just a mess, and I had to keep returning them, returning all of them.
One of my worst packaging nightmares was the was the Futurama action figures, and there was like 4 of them. And what they did was they stacked and stacked them, wrapped tape around the boxes. You remember this, right? You remember this? Wrapped tape around the boxes both ways, and then wrapped it in Christmas wrapping paper and put a label on that and sent it. And you want to talk about wrecked, and then after, you know, bad enough wrecked, you peel it open and the figures, you need a hair dryer to separate the figures to get the tape off, which wasn't very successful. It's like, oh my God, who the hell does this?
I got one recently from Macari. And the person put it was an action figure bubble, you know, in a package. And they put it in a envelope. And it was a pretty decent size card. And of course, by the time I got it, it was crushed.
Yeah.
So Macari wants you to take pictures of it. Because soon as I saw it, I was like, nah, I'm going to have to take pictures of this because it's going to be damaged. I just knew it. So I took pictures of it. My name, the whole package. I mean, like 10 pictures of before I even took it out. I took pictures of me taking it out, and then I sent it to Macari. And they kept sending me emails back saying, no, we want pictures of the packaging. I'm like, this is the packaging. It was in an envelope. It was no box. And then the person was like, I guess they got off of the AI bot, and an actual person was like, this is all that came with it. There was no out. I was like, no, look at all the pictures. The label is on the envelope. Yeah. This is why I want to send it back. This is why it's damaged. And they was like, okay, send it back. And I sent it back just the way I got it.
T. Ravis says he'd keep it in case he wants to trade it someday.
Yeah, trade up someday. That'll be a good one. Here's Johnny. Hey, Johnny.
And he says he's working on the tunnel.
He's almost done with it.
Since you're here, there is my Mego 1976 12.5-inch Batman. Notice the flap, Johnny? That no one ever bent. No one ever bent that flap. It's factory sealed, Johnny. Factory sealed. I found that at a Joe Fest last year. Really good price.
Faster Fan says that the post office lost a complete Motu 4 Horsemen Jitsu set statue figure.
Yeah.
I bought from eBay. Wanted it for years, not a common figure. The post office admitted it was their fault, but refused to reimburse.
Wow.
And ain't nothing you can do. Booby traps are for,
yeah. Spiked fall away floors for robbers. Indeed.
People are greedy monsters. Law enforcement is even.
They can be, yeah. They can be. And my last experience with trying to my last experience with trying to file a claim, because there's a couple of times I've tried to file a claim with the post office. They held the item for 14 months.
Whoa!
14 months, because you have to bring it in. You have to turn it into your local post office, right? With your claim. They deny the claim, tell me to come and pick my shit up, basically, as politely as possible.
They didn't say that.
Yeah, and if I want to file an appeal, here's the process is why, so you can hold it for another 14 months. And it was in worse shape than when they took it. They damaged it further. So yeah, that's a complete waste of time. I don't even know why anybody bothers. Robert wants to know who stole what.
No, what they steal.
Yeah.
They stole a computer hard drive because I had an external hard drive, and I had a roommate that had silver dollars, like a bunch.
Yeah.
Stole all that. So a bunch of kids, and then I had a 5-gallon bucket full of change,
like pennies and nickels. And stuff. They took it.
Yeah. And it was heavy because and I had a 2-story house. And it was in my bedroom, and they had to take it down. And at first, I didn't realize it until I went outside and I saw all this change on the ground. I guess they dropped the bucket or whatever, so some fell out.
Kids.
Yeah, it was some neighborhood kids. So yeah, that's why I don't show off my collection to
Brandon
people I
says
don't
that's
know.
why I don't show off my collection to people. Oh yeah, we just read that.
Yeah.
And Meek Lou says Amazon packaging is garbage. They save the environment with crappy packaging.
Now you know what I have. I kind of almost want to defend Amazon a little bit, because something that I don't know if it's just me or because I complain to them a lot. But at first, like I said, I had bought David quite a bit. I think it was more than six of those gentle giants. And I had to send them
Kept sending them back
all
because they were all
back.
damaged.
Yeah. And then I bought other stuff from them that was damaged, and I kept complaining. And I wrote them bad reviews, everything. Complained, wrote bad reviews. They stopped me from making reviews. And I noticed, and even to this day, when I get a package, I don't care what is in there. It is so well packed. It's sometimes
You know what she
double and
gets?
triple box.
She gets a massive box
Mhm.
filled with paper, and there's like something this big inside.
Yeah.
And the box is like 18 by 24 or something.
I don't
It
have
doesn't make any
problems with they packing no more. But I'm telling you, it was for a while, for a long while. Everything they sent me, I would send it right back, from electronics to toys. It did not matter. I sent it back, and I got on Amazon. And I don't leave bad reviews. If I don't like something, I just return it and leave it alone. But I was so mad. I left every review I could. I took pictures. I said everything. And they actually stopped me.
Yeah.
None of my reviews would go through. But now,
yeah.
Now David gets something, they just put it in an envelope, throw it on the porch.
Yeah, paper envelope. Munin says that hurts to hear as a fan of Futurama. Some of the figures are quite expensive now. I know. And William says he had stuff stolen from someone who's supposed to be a friend, known him for years, or I thought I did. I did get it back though. It's often it's somebody you know. That's true.
I remember. No, it wasn't this one. When we first started watching Johnny's channel, his house had just got burglarized.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sitting there, and I think I told David, "Oh, I hope they didn't steal his toy." I think they stole his TV. And he was saying he went to his basement, and he was hoping nothing was from his basement was stolen, because that's where his toys is. But no toys was stolen. I think he said his TV was stolen. But that's when we first started watching him.
That's happened to a couple of people we know. Their house is broken into, and they're big toy or comic collectors, and the toys and comics were untouched.
Oh yeah, that's what he said right there. Oh, that was in 2012. Okay.
He says, family and I were not home. I was the first one to get home.
Yep.
Big screen TV and video games were gone. Collection untouched.
Boy, I remember I was sitting there like, and he said that, I was like, oh, thank God. Not that I was happy that his house got burglarized, but once you start getting that stuff, and you know what stuff is, and you know what stuff is worth, you're like, oh Lord, you just start feeling. I know, right? You just start feeling for the people. That pink box pops.
Yeah. They did that with the $6 Million Man line also. And that's what Robert is saying here.
Because when I first saw it, that's what I thought it was.
You want to see another one, Johnny? He says that's amazing.
Yeah.
You want to see some more vintage Mego goodness?
Okay, John. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, we're glad you popped in.
Yeah, stealing a hard drive. Yeah.
Munin says 14 months. They just did that F to you. What a wretched hive of scum and villainy. Yeah, little Star Wars reference. 14 months. And well, you can appeal. Oh, can I? Yeah, how will that go? Brian says you also, of course, have to be cautious which friends you invite to your home. Exactly.
We don't have none.
No. Plus, we got 2 security systems. We got the house and then a separate one for this area.
Yeah. Yeah, and you get a discount, of course, if you got a monitored system, and the outside cameras that are monitored and the
Yeah, yeah.
inside cameras and all of that. Had a mega Batman and Robin figure. I when
When
I
I was your age,
Oh,
I
okay,
guess, or
okay,
Lee.
okay.
Yeah, and the really cool ones are the ones that had the magnets in their hands,
Mm.
so that you can make them climb up the refrigerator and stuff. And Lou says Target was doing that. Giant
Mm.
boxes, no protection inside. It was all rattling around. Yeah, hers is stuffed with that paper though. And Johnny says I could tell you guys how can't tell you how happy I was. Police thought I was crazy. They don't understand.
No,
That's all right though.
I understood when you said that your toys was. I breathed a sigh of relief for you. Thank you both for being here tonight. Your company is appreciated. You're welcome, William Randall.
Yes, indeed.
Crime doesn't pay. It sure doesn't. Because
Yeah, well, it does for some people.
yeah, for some people.
I guess it depends. It depends
Let's
on
see.
what your job is. Are you in politics?
Our house got broken into back in 95. They knocked down the door, stepped in, ignored the Super Nintendo and television, and stole a deer head on the wall and some jewelry.
Bill to the Clouds says that.
Oh my God. What do you want with a deer head?
Well, they didn't know what an Intellivision was. That's what it is.
My dad's roommate found the deer head out in the field in a bag. He thinks the roommate stole it.
Yeah.
In rural town.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Oh my God. Me and David actually, because where I live,
And this is, go ahead. This is for Johnny here, real quick.
where I lived, it was like a stream bed behind the house. So it was a wooded area that separated my subdivision from another subdivision. So it was a big old gap in a screen. And we actually walked back there and found parts of the stuff that was stolen, like the hard drive. No, we didn't find the hard drive. We found something. We found like two, three things that whoever stole just threw it back there, not the money, not the hard drive,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But whatever. You could get camera security to the house, but sometimes people can also watch. Yeah.
I don't trust the neighbors.
No. In New Jersey, where I live, people can't even shoot home intruders unless you're in a situation where you can't escape. Isn't New Jersey the best? Yeah. Those home laws.
That's why there's sinkholes coming up in New Jersey. And pull it back to hell.
Let me find the next question for y'all.
Oh,
Hold
no.
on. Go
Here's,
ahead,
I'll put
David
another one
showing
up.
his little
There's another
thing.
one up for Johnny because Johnny loves this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get in there a little bit more.
Okay, get in.
I'm sorry. You know who that is, Johnny? You know who that is? I love how they just generically reuse the cards. Way to go, Migo. These are classic, though. They really are. I got these at the last Jolanta. Guy gave me a really good deal on them.
Yeah, that one guy.
He gave me a
We
great
talked to him
deal.
for a long time. He was cool.
Because when they find it, I talk about it a lot. When they find out this is what's going to happen to it, I'm not trying to flip it. I'm not trying to get over. Hey, we get a private museum and we're going to take real good care of it. That eases it for a lot of people, especially when they're not hardcore sellers and they're collectors themselves. They're like, you know what? Let's do this. And they give you a great price.
Yeah, back in the 80s, and well, even sometime in the 90s, all the way up to 2000, really, you wasn't stealing a TV from a house because those was those big Cafe Ray TVs, those tube TVs. Now, TVs weigh what, 15 to 20 pounds?
I know one person can carry like an 85-inch screen.
Yeah.
And then, back in those days, a 25-inch diagonal measurement, because it wasn't side to side. That was a diagonal measurement. So it wasn't even that big.
Oh.
You need 5 people to carry that sucker out of there carefully.
Shelby caught the insurance guy stealing toys after the flood damage. Took photos of every piece for proof. Wow.
That's unfortunate. Meemaw loved Hutch's swanky vest.
Oh
Not as
my
swanky as
God.
JJ Arms' double swanky fringed vest, but it was a good to see him trying. Oh yeah, I do have the JJ Arms sitting right there too, just to show you what they're talking about.
Hey Timbo.
He's got Timbo. He's got that this vest also. There's the JJ Arms with his sweet 70s vest there and turtleneck sweater. And that's, of course, by Ideal. And J.J. Arms was a real person who had no hands. He was a detective who had no hands.
He had bionic hands.
Yeah, well, he had all those, like, contraptions. I doubt in real life, though, that he had, like, magnetic grip and suction cup.
You don't know that.
I don't think he did. I don't believe it. But I don't believe it. I think that's a lie. But what are you going to do? It's Ideal.
So we got favorite holiday foods.
Oh, favorite holiday foods.
Yep.
Johnny says, I'm going to get the Chips figure at some point. I need them to be in exactly the same condition. There you go. Chips are cool. That was a weird show, but it was fun. Favorite holiday food.
Yeah.
Eggnog.
Yeah.
She makes eggnog from scratch, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
She makes really good eggnog. She made a lemon meringue pie, deep dish lemon meringue pie with a crust that was practically an inch thick. But yeah, she's laughing, but damn, that's good. Wow. That was freaking good.
Yeah,
and
it did come out good.
Brownies. She makes these brownies. And I swear you know how like some people like the edge on brownies? Every piece has that edge.
Well, I have that thing you put in there so you can have an edge.
Really, they're not soft, but they're chewy, but they're really good like that. I like that.
You can't eat just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kids on Ninja Turtle. People do steal those big old Cafe Ray TVs, but boy, it's hard. That zombie head.
That punch, he's starting to get gray. Yeah. Unfortunately, but what are you gonna do?
Nothing.
MIB loves the JJ Arms, of course. Meemaw says Dad's folks' Christmas gumbo was amazing. I make pretty good gumbo, but Christmas gumbo was special.
Because they're Cajun and they make that. Oh yeah, eggnog definitely. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Travis says yummy. Oh yeah, she makes some great stuff. Robert doesn't understand gumbo.
He don't know
Robert's
what gumbo.
Messing with you.
Yeah. Because Robert will act like he don't know what's going on. Hey, Reston.
Glad you could make it.
Raccoon eyes.
Favorite holiday food: pumpkin pie, peanut butter cookies.
Ooh.
Okay. And build to the clouds. I want to warn anyone who has read Lego is the new thing to invest in. I collect Lego religiously. I bought a lot of sets to resell. I have sat on them for 5 years. The vintage, it's same as anything else, the vintage sets, because I know a lot of people combing the toy shows. If anyone shows up with a set of Legos 80s or earlier, it'll sell. It's gone. It's gone. But the modern sets, they really don't seem to move. He says after taxes and all the space they're taking up, I'm barely cutting even, if that. I understand. Legend says present and for favorite holiday food, beverage, eggnog, food, maybe steak. Christmas steak.
Steak is all year round.
Oh, Christmas steak.
Yeah, those brownies, you got to use Nutella.
Chewy. Yeah, she puts Nutella in it.
Yeah, or just hazelnut, because that's all
really chewy. But
Nutella
I like that.
is.
I like that. Chewy and moist.
Building clouds, like my family makes gumbo for Christmas and sometimes for Thanksgiving too. I haven't eaten gumbo in a long time since I stopped eating pork and shellfish. I don't really eat it. My dad married my mom for lemon icebox pie.
A good pie is a foundation for relationships, according to Meemaw. And Lee said $6 Million Man and Chips favorite shows. And Travis says Lego 80s space sets are the best. Yeah, that now I mean it's all nostalgia angled, just like Playmobil. classic Playmobil sets, I think, are the best.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, they're making Knight Rider. They're making the A-Team. And that's just targeting older adults.
And that's all who wants them.
It's the same thing with the Lego sets. I mean, all those complicated, fancy schmancy sets, Harry Potter, whatever. I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same. Back then, you had to use your imagination. Pastor Rick says Cherry Delight.
I don't know what is that, like cherry tarts, like little tiny pies. I don't know what that is.
And Reston likes bundt cakes. Frosted bundt cakes are cool.
Mm-hmm.
Munin says best investment collector. Why? Oh, here we go.
It's anime.
Yeah. And
cornbread beef dressing is a family favorite.
Says Travis.
Okay.
Oh yeah, $6 million man.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else. Christmas traditions. That's what we're talking about now.
Like this one, I got this.
Hey Mick, how are you?
Mickle Stapler?
No, Mick C.
Got that one at a show not too long ago. It's got a little ding in the corner, but otherwise he's sealed up in there. And that, of course, is the Maskatron, the evil villain to the $6 Million Man, sealed in the box. I used to have the whole set once upon a time. Trying to rebuild this set, very tough.
Yeah.
It's hard to find these.
And they're expensive.
And there's a lot of reproduction boxes out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
We see the one guy at the show. He has a lot of reproduction boxes.
Yeah, he's got like almost everything's in a reproduction box.
William Randall likes fruitcake.
Nothing wrong with that. They give fruitcake a bad rap, but it's not that bad.
And Mick C's wife always cooks great Italian food for Christmas.
Okay.
So that's always great.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, just cooking a lot of stuff that people like, I think, is the best. It brings comfort and joy and just, break things up.
No wassail?
I don't know what a wassail is.
You're going to go wassailing and get your wassail? Wassail is like this, it's an alcoholic drink. Vintage, it's an alcoholic drink.
Steve Austin, what? No, we don't have any Steve Austin.
Steve Austin is $6 Million Man.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the wrestler.
No, not the wrestler. Pastor Rick says basically Cherry Delight is made with graham cracker, crust, cream cheese, Cool Whip filling, cherry pie filling, and topping. Okay.
Oh, that's all lemon meringue pie is.
Okay. The legend says for Christmas traditions, one me and my dad share is play disc golf on Christmas. We have successfully kept the tradition going for over a decade.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Something that you can pass down.
I didn't know people still did the disc golf.
I don't know what disc golf is.
It's when they have that chain net in the park, and you have it's like a fabric frisbee, and you go. And there's like several of them set up in different locations in the park, and you throw them from one nest to the next one.
Oh, okay.
Thomas says, remember a game show, Joker's Wild?
I remember that, but I don't know who the host was.
You know who would know?
Who? Chance.
Chance, and he ain't in here tonight. Chance would know who that was off the top of his head, I'm sure.
Don't you have that?
Travis got Oscar Goldman with Office playset for Christmas.
You got that?
I don't have the playset, but I do have an Oscar.
I remember seeing that playset at a show once.
Yeah, his little desk and stuff.
Yeah.
Oscar
Folks,
with his,
Thanksgiving and Christmas after the obligatory Nerf football in the front yard, we all come in, blow the dust off the PlayStation 2 and play, what's that? Wolfenstein until the Who's start singing.
Who's and Who'sville. See, there's the Oscar Goldman dressed like Jack Nar from Now You See It. But you remember Jack Nar? Now You See It.
That's a good show.
That's a fun show.
It's a game show.
And actually, the picture is more like what Jack Nar would wear than the jacket that Goldman is actually wearing. I love how Kenner had the artist, rather than do renditions of the characters from the show, had them draw renditions of the action figures instead, because that artwork is obviously the action figures rather than the actors. And that's an interesting choice for Kenner to do something like that. And look at that. That sold at Kmart for $1.96. Someone paid $1.96 for that one time.
Mick C still has his Steve Austin bionic grip in the box.
Oh.
And Reynard, my Christmas tradition is reading classic comic book superhero stories.
The bionic grip is the one with the engine block, right?
Oh, okay.
I think.
And Robert, you got the Mastertron. Do you have Steve Austin?
I don't have a Steve Austin.
You don't have a Steve Austin.
Again, I used to have the whole set. I had a complete set of everything, and I mean everything, boxed and loose. And that's all gone. And that's me slowly trying to recover. You know, whenever I can find a deal, or a deal good enough, because that stuff is expensive now, especially the Bigfoot, the bionic Bigfoot is crazy expensive now. It is what it is.
Barry Cryer was the host of Joker's
Wild says sticks.
And Travis thinks that's awesome. And Mick says that's in great condition.
I try to find the best condition that I can.
And Lou missed Kmart.
He misses Kmart, yeah. The Blue Light Special.
I never seen the Blue Light Special. I know they had it, but I was never in the store.
They would actually flash a blue light from the ceiling. Yeah, it's crazy.
And then it stayed on for a point of time. And then you got everything half off, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a Kmart near me growing up. I didn't see a Kmart for real until I moved to Kansas.
Oh, okay. We had a Kmart in my little small town. We had a Kmart and a Walmart. So we had both. And but I never was there when the Blue Light Special was going on.
You don't camp out in the store all day?
No.
Munin says, every time I see a price tag on a vintage toy, it amazes me how cheap a lot of that stuff once was. Yeah. And if it's a small price tag, I kind of like that. As long as it's not covering the art. Yeah. You know, I can live with it. Sometimes there's a huge clearance tag price on them. You see a lot of that on those, like these Remco McDonald's here. You see a lot of those that have like a huge, like 5-inch long orange clearance tag, and it's awful. I hate that.
You don't have no Karate Chop nothing.
What are you talking about?
Lou was saying you had that Karate Chop 3rd edition Steve Austin.
No, I don't have any of the box Steve Austins. I don't have those. But if there's a small price tag and it's not covering the art, or at least not any prominent part of the art, I'm fine with that. And I actually kind of like that a little bit, because it gives me an idea of some of the history of the toy, to look at it and say, wow, you know, once upon a time this sold for this much, or this is about what that was going for, that sort of thing. I like that. You know, like these super dino monsters. And there are people that they'll have no clue what the stuff would sell for. You couldn't tell if you couldn't find them. Like, that's a super dino monster. And this is an 80s toy, and it was a knockoff of the Ultraman figures. And these were sold in the United States, and you see he was 67 cents.
Wow.
67 cents for this figure. And there were a dozen of them in the set. Good luck.
Imagine if toys was that price now.
I know. You can't, because these Super Dino monsters are very, very, they're harder to find than the actual Ultraman figures that these are copies of. So it's crazy.
I missed the Wayne, New Jersey close to where I live. It closed in 2019.
I hung on for a minute.
Yeah. Travis missed KB Toys.
Yeah, KB was my thing, because there was a Toys R Us, but it wasn't easy to get to. And again, by the time the 90s rolled around, Toys R Us wasn't really a toy store anymore anyways. So it is. And I think the ones in Canada are shutting down now too.
Oh, wow.
I
really?
Heard, yeah. Mick says Bionic Grip is the second version with orange plastic steel girder. Okay. All right. Yeah, because one had an engine block and one had a girder.
Yeah, we saw it. We did a video on the channel,
Renard, yes,
kind
says
of reviewing.
Carol for Another Christmas.
Yeah, we kind of reviewed the various Christmas carols, and that was in it. I think we
Unless
talked
he's
about.
talking about the Twilight Zone Christmas one with the guy with the bum
Well,
who
it
was
was
fired.
two. It was two. It was the one with the bum, and he had the trash bag. Not the trash bag, but the
The
bag,
sack.
the sack, and it had like everything just kept coming out. And then they had the one with the black guy and the Jewish boy.
Uh-huh.
And then they had a carol for a different Christmas or
Carol
something.
for Another Christmas, but
Yeah.
that wasn't directly associated
No, that
with
wasn't Twilight Zone. Yeah.
The Twilight Zone's classic.
Yeah. I can watch that at any time. That's one of those shows that still hold up today. Before all those stores started going out of business, my area had everything: KB, Toys R Us, Kmart, among many others. When I was a little kid, there's only one true comic store left. In our area, there's no toy stores, no comic book stores, no record stores. All we have is a Walmart. And in that Walmart, it ain't really nothing in there. And but I'm all right with that because I like that little small town feel. But it's growing a lot around here.
Reston wants to know what's the first toys you guys got that wasn't a collectible. You mean in childhood? When?
What toy is not a collectible?
Brian says Kmart in Wayne, New Jersey.
Oh yeah. That's what he was talking about.
Yeah. Robert says 3 toys they remember from youth meant something to me. 12-inch Mego Chris Reeves Superman, $6 Million Man, and the Millennium Falcon. 3 favorites.
Wow. Yeah, that was one of the next questions, I think.
And Mickle says,
hey.
Oh, Mickle is here. Hope you're both well. How was Christmas? Hope you got everything you wanted. The family had a great family and me had a great Christmas.
Good.
Excellent.
Hi,
I said is here. Hi.
Hi.
And
love your hair. Thank you. Yeah, I got it done today. So I spent my morning sitting down in the shop, getting my head pulled in every direction.
Robert says Pluto has a Twilight Zone channel. Do they play them in order? Do they skip them? They
pick out 10,
yeah,
and they play those 10
they
back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
Because at the nursing home, my mom and her roommate, they watch Gunsmoke, and they watch, what's the one with Mark?
The Rifleman.
And boy, if you go there for a week, you're gonna see those shows probably about 2-3 times.
It's on like a 2-week loop, and Gunsmoke had like
20
it had
seasons.
20 seasons, full seasons, so like 34 episodes a season. And you're not going to wrap that up in 2 weeks. You know, that's whatever. William says only one in Canada closed. Okay. And Mickle lives on top of a mountain. Options for toy hunting is limited. Unfortunately, they have to do a lot of online shopping.
Oh, on top of a mountain.
Unit says there may not be any stores in your area, but at least you two have all those toy shows and conventions.
Yeah,
we get around.
Yeah, we
try
around.
to. Mick wants to know suggestions on flattening a vintage Star Wars figure card. It can be done with a press, but you got to be really careful.
Yeah.
Because you can put it, you can put weight on it, but that cardboard's going to have memory and it's going to go back. So unless heat and moisture are applied, which the only way that's going to be able to be done is by somebody who is able to do comic book pressing. And also with that, since you can't put the whole thing in.
See you, William.
Oh, William's got to go. Okay. You can flatten out part of the card.
You can show like, my Skeletor I got that you had flattened out.
Well,
that double one.
Yeah, hold on.
Because I have one that he flattened out, and he flattened out in the press, and I had put like a piece of cloth on top of it, and then he put it through the press.
Yeah, that's this one. The top of the card is obviously really badly damaged, but it was rolled and curled all the way down to here. And I got it straightened out and I put it in the press and I pressed it, but obviously you cannot put the whole thing in. You can't put the plastic in the press. And then you will have a crease right across. where the press cuts off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it depends on how valuable it is and how far you're willing to go. In this case, I mean, it's still pretty chewed up there, but at least it's not rolled up anymore. Because
Yeah.
again, this you couldn't even see the picture was rolled all the way to this line.
Yeah, I got that like ultra cheap on
Yeah.
Craigslist. Somebody had it for hardly nothing because of the condition. When I got it, like he said, it was all crumbled up. And it stayed like that for a long time. And when he got his press up and running, I asked him to put it through the press and he did it. I don't think we put moisture on it though, but I'm fine with it the way it is because that's an
Yeah.
expensive figure. And I really kind of forgot about it. So so I don't even try to upgrade it. I probably could, but it's fine.
And Meemaw said Colorado Springs has several military bases, and all those GIs with a little money in their pockets all buy all kinds of beloved junk. Our pawn shops and thrift stores are gold mines.
I used to be
Okay.
stationed in Colorado Springs at Fort Carson. Um, yeah, I like Colorado Springs. I always thought about going back to Colorado and live there, but I don't think so. I'm happy where I am now. I don't know if I want to go to Colorado.
And Mick wants to know if I collected the Mego World's Greatest Superheroes. I had a set of those.
Mm.
But again, long story short, that's part of the collection that was stolen many years ago. And Travis says, try steaming it and then use parchment paper and small travel iron to press it, and then cold press it for 24 hours.
Yeah, that sounds
But
good.
yeah, that's what I use. Is I don't put water on it. I have a steam
Machine.
a steam
That
machine,
thing you
the
hold.
kind that you used for like dry cleaning, for moistening fabric. I use that because I press and clean comic books.
Mm. And Travis also presses books and had some success with cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing, like that one, it had it's not just a regular card back. It had that shiny thing on the words.
Yes.
So you had to make sure that that didn't flake
Yeah,
off
because I
or
didn't want
melt.
that foil will peel if you're not careful, because you don't see that often
Mm-hmm.
on boxes or carded action figures. But yeah, if it's got foil on it, it can cause problems. You don't want that to happen. But yeah, I got that done for her, and that's something that you could attempt if it's not too much of a risk, or if you can find somebody that's willing to do it.
Yeah.
So because you'd want somebody who kind of knows what they're doing, because you don't want to wreck it.
Yeah, you don't want to make it any worse.
Yeah.
But you probably could do it with a regular iron, right? You just take like a cloth.
You might could, yeah.
And then just put some kind of barrier between the card and the iron.
Experiment with something else first.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you get the feel for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
hey, David.
Blue Splash says, you guys are doing a live stream, had no clue. Hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, weren't on yesterday, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we decided, what the hell?
Yeah.
Jump in here today.
Yeah, say hey to everybody. See how things are going. What is your favorite Christmas song?
His favorite Christmas song? I don't know.
Silent Night by The Temptation.
Is it? That's yours.
It's yours too.
No, it's not.
As a kid.
The Black Knight's Castle. This is Built to the Clouds.
Okay.
Black Falcon Castle Guard, Glowing Lego Ghost, Micro Machines Toolbox City.
Oh, he just rebought it.
And Crash Test Dummies. I remember the Crash Test Dummies.
Oh, they had a Lego set?
No, but I mean, who made those?
Oh, just those toys.
Tiger, right? Tiger made I think, was it Tiger or Tommy? Made the Crash Test Dummies, and they do fall apart. If you get, there's a button on them, and if they get hit, their arms and legs and heads pop off. So, favorite Christmas songs. I don't have a specific favorite Christmas song. Sorry.
Dummies, Pogs,
oh God,
Super
Pogs.
Soaker. and X-Men 94 and 95 on the
I
card.
remember Pogs. That was popular for a heartbeat there. Munin wants to know if there'll be a live stream on New Year's. I don't know.
I don't know. We got to see how things go between now and then.
Yeah, when the heck is that?
New Year's coming Wednesday. No,
No,
we normally
it
do it
won't be
New Year's
Wednesday.
Eve,
Yeah.
and we do it late, like at 11, so we could go through the New Year. That's normally how we do it when we do it.
Yeah, because that would be
Tuesday.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday.
And Robert loves Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas."
You're lying.
No, he ain't.
Nobody
he mean
likes
that.
that.
He mean that.
No, that's a lie. I deny it.
Robert can like what Robert wants to like.
No, he's not allowed to like that. He's denied. You're forbidden to like that. Well, that's a huge joke. Is the whole Mariah Carey "All I Want for Christmas"?
Why is that a huge joke?
It's a huge joke because apparently it's not well liked, but it's very heavily played. And there's the whole joke about how she gets thawed out in November, and then Boba Fett puts her back in carbonite before New Year's and stores her away for the rest of the year.
But that's like one of the biggest Christmas songs ever.
Only because of how much it's forced on everybody.
Paul McCartney, Wonderful Christmas. I never heard of that one. That would really be cool if we did a Christmas live stream. We normally do every year. So again, we have to see how, what the day holds. I'll throw this out.
Mick says, Micronauts are far more superior toy line than Kenner's Star Wars. Yeah, it was. It's not as popular, but more imaginative.
Really?
You could do more with the Micronauts than you could with Kenner Star Wars.
DMX had a Rudolph those reindeer.
Frankenfrost.
Really? I didn't know that. I like to watch Mariah Carey sing. That's about it,
says Stone Sour. Likes to watch her sing. But yeah,
I used to like her when she first came out. I thought she was really good. And then she had that little nervous breakdown and she kind of fell off the rails after she did that movie that didn't do well. She had that nervous breakdown.
But yeah, the Micronauts, much more imaginative because you could do a lot more with it than with the Star Wars. But Star Wars was a cultural phenomenon. So, I mean, you rode that wave and we still love them to this day. Maybe not the new stuff, but the vintage. Yeah, I still love that the vintage toys. There's a lot of memories with that. It's good stuff.
Christmas is scarier than Halloween.
Brian says. And David says, any new collectibles outside of the 2 unboxings?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Okay.
Everything was unboxed.
Well, also we have, I do have something for the Star Wars Journey.
You putting that up tomorrow, ain't you?
I'm going to put that up tomorrow. Although there's a little bit of disappointment in that one. A little bit of disappointment that things did not go well, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Reston's grandma got run over by a reindeer in Bing Crosby's Christmas songs.
You're the best.
I remember Grandma got run over by a reindeer. You heard that one?
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Okay.
All right, Boys to Men, Christmas.
And there's Thor.
Hey, Thor, how are you?
What did you think of the new Superman trailer?
Didn't see it.
I'm finished with all these superhero reboot replacements of characters and directors. I really didn't give it much thought, to be honest, Thor, because I'm not... I take it all with a grain of salt. It's not like when we were kids and a new film was coming out and you're like, whoa, I can't wait to see that. Like RoboCop and, whatever it is. It just, none of it meets expectations anymore. So I just don't have any. So maybe the new Superman film will be okay, maybe not. I really don't see myself even wanting to go out and see it.
I don't care for trailers anymore because they don't tell you nothing.
They don't tell you anything, and then you can't trust any reviews because those people are all paid. So
no matter what they say, I believe they're paid.
Yeah, they're going to tell you what they were told to say.
Yeah.
But
so we just saw a trailer for something. God, I don't even know what it was. But it used to be when we were young in the 80s. You watched the trailer. They told you who was in it. They gave you what the plot was, what's going on in the movie. They
Hmm.
gave you something to tell you a little. At least you knew what it was about. I mean, they didn't give away the ending or any spoilers or nothing like that, but they at least told you who was in it and what the movie was about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they show you little clips that they thought were probably the best. Sometime it was, sometime it wasn't. Sometime the trailer was better than the actual movie. Because how many times you went to see a movie based on the trailer and you're like, man, that was the worst movie ever. The trailer was better than the movie. But at least you knew who was in it, what it was
Yeah.
about. And the thing that gets me nowadays in commercials and in these movie trailers, they just show it to you. They don't tell you anybody. And then they expect you to know who these people are. And I'm sitting there like, okay, I know you think I know who this person is, but I truly don't. So who is this person? What is this movie about? You know. So I don't watch trailers anymore. Plus, we don't really have TV. So when you stream, you rarely ever get a trailer.
Yeah.
And I don't pull nothing up on YouTube to watch because I know it's no movie out there coming out except for the Batman that I actually want to see, but I don't want to see the trailer. I just want to go see the movie. And then that's all of the movies I want to see because there's nothing coming out that I found interesting. Um, when we went to see the Joker 2, we saw the trailers and none of them looked like, man, I want to come back and see that. So,
And guess what? You didn't,
I think all female singers get nervous breakdowns.
says Robert.
Remember when Britney Spears had her little meltdown?
And Munion's sorry to hear that I'm unhappy with the Star Wars purchase.
Oh,
Hope it's not
yes.
too bad. Well, you'll see tomorrow. When I put it up, Travis was happy to see crypto.
Yes.
That's what's going to sell it. Is that I don't think people care about anything else in that movie. They want to see how crypto is going to fit into it. How does that work? So yeah, that's going to be the whole big angle on that whole Superman film. Munin says saw the Superman movie trailer yesterday. Crypto just looks like a basic dog in a Superman cape, not what you would expect Crypto to look like.
But wasn't he just a dog?
Well, yeah, I mean he was a white Labrador. And
Yeah.
they changed the dog to another incarnation of Crypto, but I don't know how he should look.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, shouldn't he just look like a regular a dog or I don't know. The movie trailer voice over guy made you want to see. Yeah. And I like what's that guy the guy that does movie trailers?
Oh yeah.
After the fact, but he does it like funny, comical.
Honest trailers.
Honest trailers.
Superman.
Yeah.
A boy and his dog.
I like watching those trailers. I'll watch that, a popular movie, and I'll see what he said, just get his take on it. Because at least he tells you what the movie's about, and it's usually funny. I used to watch Cinema Sins, but they got too vulgar.
Yeah.
They got real vulgar.
They cuss a lot now.
And they didn't do that at first. So, or if they did, it was like a little bit. Yeah. But now it's too much, so I don't watch them anymore.
Munin says, I think the singers have breakdowns because it finally dawns on them they have no talent and their music is awful. Well, when you're surrounded by yes men your whole life. And Blue Splash said, Craven trailer was terrible, especially the rhino skipping leg day. Yeah, that movie already is done, right? They bombed. And Edwin is listening while filling out passport renewal is less stressful.
Well, we're glad we can help you with that. I'm blessed with the ignorance of celebrity singers' personal lives,
says Brian. Yeah, there's nothing to know there. And there they go. Blue Splash Rhino looked like Korg from Thor. Yeah, I don't know what they did, but I wasn't interested in that either. It's like, yeah, a modern incarnation of Craven. You're going to screw it up. You want to do Craven right? Do Craven's Last Hunt.
Oh, okay.
Do the Craven's Last Hunt story.
So it's a little dog. It's not a...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's not getting picked off by a hawk, though. And Travis says, "How do we know what dogs look like on Krypton?" Well, you can see them right there. I want them to bring in the whole league of super animals. You got super horse and super monkey and
The Christmas Shoes was a movie. That movie was very sad. Oh, I saw that. That movie will bring a tear to your eye. That was bad. I think mom dies and everything. It was pretty it was a good movie.
Yeah.
But it was very, very sad.
Some
that was
movies you can only watch once.
And that's one of them.
Like War Horse.
Oh God, I couldn't I couldn't do it. War Horse, man, that movie messed me up. I couldn't watch a movie with animals in it for about a year. I would toe up with that. I couldn't do it. Watch Pitch Meeting with Ryan George. I don't know who Ryan George is. My favorite current comedian. He's a comedian. He's a comedian. Okay. The next question we have is favorite Christmas movies.
Favorite Christmas movies.
Yes.
That could be easily a long list.
Yeah, well, just name a few that people might not have heard.
Never think about is The Ref with Dennis Leary.
Oh.
Takes place on Christmas. Everybody's forgotten that film. That was pretty good. And I know people say Die Hard and stuff like that is a Christmas movie. Here's the reality of it, though. For it to be a Christmas movie, the Christmas itself has to be part of the plot.
Mm-hmm.
To be, in all honesty, we call Die Hard a Christmas movie because it takes place on Christmas, but Christmas is not the theme of the film. The hijacking of Nakatomi Tower is the theme of the film. But straight up Christmas, seriously, this is Christmas movie like Miracle on 34th Street. Hey,
I never saw that movie.
Wow, that's not. It's a good movie. I like that movie, Miracle on 34th Street.
That's the one where they got the house at the end.
The original, not the remake. Let's be clear. The remake is trash. The original is good.
What's that movie we just saw that was a Christmas movie? Go ahead.
George C. Scott, A Christmas Carol. There's plenty of Christmas that are Christmas themed films that are actually really good or really fun. Elf is fun.
Elf is a movie you can only watch one time.
That's not true.
I can only stand to watch that one time. I can't watch that too much because it just got annoying after a while. The second time I tried to watch it, I couldn't do it.
Bill to the Cloud says Pitch Meeting is a YouTube series where Ryan pitches meetings to a producer that he plays himself.
Oh.
He ravages movies in a hilarious way, kind of like Honest Trails.
Oh, okay. A movie we just saw that's a Christmas movie, Cash on Demand. We saw that. You remember that's the one about the bank robber and he got the guy to rob the bank.
It's not a Christmas theme though.
Yeah, it was. It was on Christmas Eve.
Okay. That's with
Peter's the guy
not Peter.
Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing. Okay, yeah.
The Wolf Man movie seems kind of a different. That's kind of. They're doing a new Wolfman movie?
They'll ruin it.
If they do that, they're gonna do all of the Universal monsters again.
So please, no more.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Travis, A Wonderful Life is a really good film.
Batman Returns.
Is it? Yeah, technically, it was on Christmas. No Gundam Wings.
What is that?
Munin says Gundam Wing Endless Waltz is a Christmas movie. There's enough Christmas theme in the film to make it so. Meemaw says Donovan's Reef, Cat People, and The Thin Man both happen during Christmas. I guess they aren't really Christmas stories. A Christmas story is always fun.
Black Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky Mud, The Year Without a Santa Claus.
I've been seeing that on YouTube, and I said I'm gonna watch it. Tokyo Godfather is another great anime Christmas movie.
Okay. And Reston said Carnage with Christoph Waltz and Kate Winslet is similar to The Ref, but not a Christmas movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nobody remembers The Ref. Nobody remembers Dennis Leary acting, except in Demolition Man. He was who? What's his name? Edgar Feely.
I have
I'm
no
trying to
idea.
remember the leader of the resistance that was
Mm-hmm.
trying to steal from Taco Bell. They were
Okay, I
trying to
went
steal
through
food. They
all
didn't
the.
need to steal food. They had rat burgers.
Ugh.
Remember rat burgers? What kind of meat do you think that is? Do you see cows walking around in the subway? Or no, in the sewer? So what's this? Oh, I thought you had another question. Mark Franco. As a kid, they enjoyed the Mr. Magoo Scrooge cartoon.
Oh wow.
I don't remember that one.
Mm-mm.
Blue Splash. I don't think it's your traditional Wolfman. I could be wrong. It looks different. Of course it is. We've been hearing that about the Nosferatu. We know somebody that went to see the Nosferatu, and they're like, "Ugh, don't! It's just gore
Yeah.
porn, horrible. Gore porn, just messy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, that's not what I want to see."
Emmett Otter.
Yeah, well, that's a TV special though. It's not a movie.
It's the same.
A Christmas Story. Which one? Legends.
The new one that just came out.
Edwin says, if Crypto pooped in the lawn, would I be able to pick it up? Yes. And Robert, A Wonderful Life. Too bad they don't show it anymore.
It's probably censored and canceled because it's offensive.
Elite Action says Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Well, I mean, if we're doing
the drummer boy, little drummer boy.
Gremlins, Frankenfrog. No, it is not a Christmas movie. Built to the Clouds says
we
Jimmy
talked about that already.
Yes, he did. He was what, 100? Kentucky Mud said Friday After Next with Ice Cube and Mike Epps is a Christmas movie.
That was filmed during Christmas?
That's why it has to be a Christmas theme to be counted as a Christmas movie, because you could find 1,000 films and make it work. Like I said, Rambo could technically be considered a Christmas movie because it was Christmas when that happened.
Oh. I don't know a New Year's movie.
I don't know a New Year's movie either.
Mm-mm.
Off the top of my head,
I don't know.
Yeah, Christmas specials though. Yeah, I mean, I'll take those responses.
Griswold, I like Griswold Christmas.
Yeah,
that was good.
Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon.
Yeah.
But Emmett Otter is probably one of the best of the Christmas specials. Emmett Otter is fantastic. So much effort went into that. You know, they had the puppeteers underwater. It's incredible the effort that went into doing a production like that. Reston, Mr. Magoo was the guy from Gillen's. Yes, Mr. Howell, Thurston Howell III.
Played it.
Was the actor who was Thurston Howell III also did the voice of Mr. Magoo.
No way a modern director was going to do Nosferatu justice on the big screen.
No.
We just saw what's his name? Jack Palance Dracula.
Yes, it was actually pretty close to the Mary Shelley book.
Yeah.
Or not Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley did Frankenstein. But Bram Stoker. It was actually pretty close to the book, minus the mustache. Because if you ever read the actual novel, he's supposed to have this huge handlebar mustache, which I don't know how practical that would be if you're running around biting people on the neck, but you know, whatever.
The thing I don't understand about vampires is, how do you suck the blood up through your teeth?
No, you make the hole with your teeth, and then
you suck the blood out,
and then you suck with your mouth after you puncture their skin. But then, you know, you got these fangs and they're all over here.
Gilgamesh.
And then when you see the person's neck, the dots are like an inch apart. And you're like, what, did they go like this? What? How does that work? It's never, the placement never looks right. And then the dots are like next to each other like that. So what did I do? Attack you like this? And try to stab you down into your neck? Nosferatu is the only one that made any sense, because the traditional vampire actually has like rat teeth with two sharp incisors in the front that he would tear with, not fangs like a snake. That doesn't make sense. Bill to the Cloud says he watched Dare Santa. with Jack Black. Wasn't a fan.
Mm.
Watched an old movie called Escape from Paradise with Nicolas Cage, John Lovitz, and Dana Carvey as brothers. It was okay.
I haven't seen or heard from John Lovitz in a long time.
Yeah.
Is he still around?
Munin says no reason to turn Nosferatu into a gore fest. Guess they didn't know how to tell a good story. Well, no, they don't. So they figured they just want to pimp it up. We'll put a lot of gore. We'll have people cuss a whole lot. We'll have a lot of unnecessary nudity and really long, drawn out sex scenes that nobody wants to see.
Yeah.
That's what they do with these films. It's kind of like Brave New World is a great example.
Oh,
There's
man.
two versions. There's two cinematic versions of Brave New World. Huxley was the writer. Was that?
I don't remember. I have the book, but I don't remember.
In the original one, it's implied they have gratuitous sex. It's brought up. You see people pair off, whatever. In the new version, they want to throw in a 15-minute long just wild orgy that you have to watch the whole damn thing. And it's like, I don't need to see all of that. I don't need all that filler. Give me story. Okay, I get it. All you had to do was show there was an orgy, and I understand. kind of like in Conan, the movie, when they come in and all the people are rolled up in a ball, and they're sitting there and they're looking. The thieves, the first time they break into the Snake Tower, and he goes, "Crom." Like, holy crap, look at these people. And then he goes and he ruins the party by dumping the soup on everyone. But we didn't need to watch that for an hour.
Yeah.
You saw it for like 10 seconds. It was enough for the thieves that broke in to get the point. We get the point.
Yeah.
I don't need to watch them frolicking for the next half an hour or however long. I hate that.
Rocky had a New Year's scene in it.
Says Stone Sour. Okay. Blue Splash. A lot of modern movies don't keep me excited. Superman movies, the only thing that seems to be something I'm interested in. I hope it pans out for you.
Yeah. I'll wait till it come out free.
Eric says, speaking of vampires, Fright Night with Chris Sanderson is a fun movie with great practical effects and makeup.
I like Mel Brooks' Vampire. That was good. He did Dracula with Leslie Nielsen. That was funny.
Dead Again and Loving It.
No.
Dead Again and Loving It.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Oh.
Gilgamesh says they turned Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, they did. Because he's an open agent now.
And Banana Splits also. And I don't want to see that. Robert thought vampires' fangs were like hypodermic needles.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because it's like these two little pinpricks. It doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know how the hell that's supposed to work. But the placement never makes any sense either. It's all over the place, and it's in like these. What are these angles that you were managed to jam your head into to bite somebody like that?
Oh, we saw a vampire movie with William Dafoe and Ethan Hawke. What's the name of Daylight's End?
I don't know.
No, Daybreakers.
Okay.
And
yeah,
Daybreakers. It has Ethan Hawke and William Dafoe, and somehow or another, vampires are a thing, and they take over the world, and there's hardly no humans left. So the vampires don't have anything to eat, and then you have the mutant vampires, which are mutants and everything, but
they hunt other vampires.
Yeah, they hunt other vampires,
which was borrowed from Blade 2.
Oh, okay.
And the hybrids.
Ethan Hawke is a hematologist, and he's trying to find a cure. So, that wouldn't be a thing. And he finds a cure because accidentally William Dafoe turns back human by accident. He got into a car accident and was exposed to the sun for a length of time, but then he fell into the water. And once he got out, he was back. He was, back normal.
It burned the infection out of him. Yeah.
So, but it was a good movie,
And Muna wants to know, how did they even make that work with Winnie the Pooh?
I don't know, because I didn't watch it. I saw not the trailer, but the poster or whatever. And he had I don't know if it was a chainsaw or axe. Yeah, Love at First Bite.
George
Um,
Hamilton,
yeah, I
Love at
was
First
in Love
Bite.
at
Yeah,
First
that
Bite.
was a fun movie.
This movie was number one on the top 2024 movie list. Hundreds of Beavers comedy, black and white on YouTube. Not dirty. Okay,
Haven't heard of that one.
but that movie was pretty good. And then we also saw today. We saw Infinite with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
That was okay, but they had
Marky Mark.
yeah, Marky Mark without the funky bunch.
Yeah, no more Funky Bunch for you. Denied. But it was okay, and more borrowed premise because I mean they just kind of reverse engineered the concept behind Highlander.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
but instead of uh, living forever unless you're killed, and if you kill someone in Highlander, if you kill someone,
Mm-hmm.
you can absorb what they know,
Okay.
and that's how that works. But yeah, it's kind of on the same idea there.
Yeah. Robert heard about that movie. Yeah, it's decent to watch. I mean,
Uh,
it's not vulgar, no cursing in it, and no sex or nothing. It's just a straight out story, storyline. They had some stuff, of course, that I found stupid. Um, the vampires, of course, can't go out in the day. Now they have altered the vehicles so that they can go out during the day,
yeah,
and they have made some alterations so that they can go out in the day, but mostly they can't go out in the day. So the humans, they would track other humans and bring them to one spot, but they would travel at night. And it's
yeah,
like,
that did make sense.
why would you travel at night if you know the vampires mainly hunt at night?
Yeah, you're a sitting duck.
Yeah, at least if you go out during the day, yeah, their vehicles, they could be inside the vehicle during the day, but they can't get out. So you're safer during the day. But they traveled at night and all of them got killed.
They also borrowed premise from The Strain because that was the goal of that one vampire,
Mm-hmm.
that the leader of that particular clan,
Yeah.
because the other clans were against him.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want overpopulation of vampires because they knew it wasn't sustainable, and that guy didn't care
Yeah.
because that was the problem. If everybody's a vampire, what the hell do you eat?
Yeah.
You'll run out of resources.
And that's the problem these people were having.
Yeah.
So they tried to make like a human farm so they can, cipher off the blood and have blood. And then they had another part that was stupid. They had like a coffee bar, like Starbucks or something. And you get coffee with a shot of blood in it. And it's like, okay, whatever. But they have the blood in the bag sitting in the front. And they're like, the guy's like, hey, you don't have enough blood in. I want more blood. And the lady was like, no, we got a shortage.
It was like it's the new regulation.
Yeah.
See, 5%, no more than
No more.
5%, man.
So they tore the place up, and it's like, okay, even if you got like infinite amount, why would you have it all out in the open like that? Why not like, like at McDonald's, they got everything kind of locked up. You can't see it. It's just, you turn on a faucet and it comes out. I don't know. It was just like some weird
that
stuff.
Didn't make sense.
Have you seen Reinfeld? It came
Renfield.
out. Oh, Renfield. No.
With Nicolas Cage. No, we didn't see that, Gilgamesh. Renfield.
Yeah, we're still on Street Sharks. We're almost done.
Yeah.
I think they're running out of ideas. They're starting to do.
They ran out of ideas after the first episode.
They're doing montages now. So like on every episode now, they got montages.
The show's already 50% filler, and they got more.
But then it's kind of stupid because they got to the point where they could become human again. They were all transformed back to human, and they could stay humans. But then they was like, no, we're gonna go back to being street sharks because we can't fight paranoid, which I understand that.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, okay, the goal at first was you want to find your father and become human again.
They forgot all about Dad.
Yeah, they don't.
He's just gone.
They used to hint at Dad. Now they don't even hint at Dad anymore.
And now they work for the president.
Yeah, and the president calls
them on the cell phone.
I
have a secret mission for you.
Yeah, to stop a meteor. And I'm like, how are they going to stop a meteor?
Jawsome. Fantastic.
I love Highlander. All of them, but it really
should have been just one movie, says Robert. Well, the movie ended. That was the thing. The movie concluded, and there was just one left. A single Highlander was left. Or not Highlander, but a single one of them. I forget what the term was, but the Highlander was the nickname of that specific character. But he was the only one at the end of the film, but then they changed it so that they could be others again. David
even liked the show.
Yeah.
I also love the actor
Christopher Lambert.
Okay.
Three of his favorite movies.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And we got Kimbo. Hey, everyone.
First time here. Hey. Seeing you guys at this toy swap in Marietta.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to
make
ask,
sure you wave
what
next time.
is PowerCon that's teaming up with Toylanta in March? I'm pretty stoked for the show.
Oh, PowerCon is teaming up with
Are Toylanta? They teaming up with Toylanta? I know.
I didn't know that.
What you saw for the Joe Lanta, if you saw the Joe Lanta tour video that I did, they're opening that wall. So the Toylanta will be twice the size of the Joe Lanta. I'm not sure about them teaming up with PowerCon though. And if there's something going on that if there's something going on that they don't want to reveal yet, I don't know.
Yeah, but I know what PowerCon is, and PowerCon is like a franchise of, because toy shows now are franchised out, like San Diego Wizard Con, Dragon Con, New York Comic Con. That's just one. I think it's not fandom. It's called something. But it's a franchise.
Yeah.
And I think PowerCon is under that. So maybe it was sold out. I don't know. Speculating, just that cancel all that out.
Brett might be having something going on, but I'm not sure.
But we haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
He's still got a lot of things in the work, and maybe he'll talk to us about it.
But later. I do know that's going to be like a huge show this time.
Yeah.
Toylanta is going to be jumbo.
In Near Dark, the vampires drove around during the day with aluminum foil. Now, in this one, it was a little more realistic.
The windows would tint, and then there was a little camera pod on the roof, and so you would see an overlay.
Yeah, the cars were outfitted automatically, so during the day it would be in dark mode, so all of the windows were blacked out, and at night it would be in night mode, so you could see out the window. Several episodes of Highlander still hold up. I never seen Highlander.
Munin doesn't want them to remake it. You don't want a Jamaican woman in a wheelchair being Highlander? Come on, man.
Finishing off my last of the eggnog.
And the Clark Griswold Moose Mud. He says Thor. Or Thomas, excuse me. Robert says Tarzan, Legend of Greystoke, Fortress, and Highlander played Raiden in Mortal Kombat 2. That's right. And Fortress, there was 2. Right? There was a sequel. And Bill to the Clouds wants a Highlander series where they just follow how he profits off of the time span. Yeah, he was an antique dealer, and it was all his own stuff because he was like 400 years old.
Oh.
Gilgamesh says Highlander anime movie was pretty good, worth a watch. And Build says, and all that junkie collects. Yeah.
We actually started watching a couple of new cartoons. I don't know the names of them, though. Hold on. I'll tell you what we're watching. And they're actually pretty good. I would love to go to PowerCon. PowerCon is usually in
it's a West Coast. Right?
Yeah, in Chicago area, I think.
Chicago?
I think so.
I'm not sure. I've never been to one. Blue Splash likes He-Man happiness. That's right. Well, it'll sure help to bring Motu Joe back. If that's
he's coming in Joe Fest.
He's coming to the Joe Fest. We'll see him again at Joe Fest. Motu Joe. I'm not sure when next Pixel Dan is going to be out here.
I think he's supposed to be at Toy Lanta.
But yeah, last time he couldn't come by because his schedule was so tight. He had to leave the show early just to catch his flight.
That was at Joe Fest.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have hardly been able to come by anyway.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he had to catch his flight, but he had to pack up early. But yeah.
Spiral Zone. That's what we started watching. Spiral Zone.
It's done by the same people that did Mask, and you can tell. It's got the same feel, the same continuity and motion as the Mask. It's a one season, but after school season. So it's what, 64 episodes?
Yeah.
And it's an interesting premise. It is an interesting premise. The toys by Tonka, those action figures, they'll run you at least $250 a piece.
Yeah, and you can't hardly find any carded.
Yeah. They came in like a little window box.
Yeah, but you can't hardly find them sealed. But the premise is some guy, he's trying to turn everybody into like zombies, like the whole world. But it's experiment messed up, so it's only like a section, like sections. And if you're inside that zone, you turn into this zombie-like creature, and he can control you. But if you come out, you go through some kind of treatment, and you're fine.
By zombie-like, she means that like you don't have any free will anymore.
Yeah.
You go on your day like anyone else, but if the leader and his select group are immune to the effect. So if they tell you to do something, you'll just do it because you have no free will and you can't help it. It's an interesting premise. Edwin says our region seems to have a lot of shows.
Yeah. And Spiral Zone is on YouTube, so you can find that for free.
Mickle wants to know, does anyone else eat fruitcake? It's our favorite. No one else seems to like it. There's nothing wrong with fruitcake.
My grandmother, they used to make it every year. Her and her sisters would get together because she had a lot of sisters. And they would make like a bunch and give it away.
You know who doesn't like fruitcake?
Who?
Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, he got a lot.
On the Christmas special, that was funny. And my favorite was actually the King of Cartoons because everybody kept giving him a fruitcake and he was acting like it weighed a ton. Like he'd drop it on the floor and you'd hear a huge thump. Or he was using a dolly to push them around. But the King of Cartoons, I have a present for you, Pee-wee. And he was like, is it a fruitcake? And he goes, no, of course not. And he goes, oh, good. It's 2 fruitcakes. Like, that's perfect.
The Fortress sequel was awful, but the first one was pretty good.
Well, it ended with the first one. They just made a sequel.
And then we got Road
Pigeon.
Oh, Pig John.
Road Pig John. Oh, Road Pig John. I thought it said pigeon. This is Merry Christmas for the couple toy collectors around here. Thank you.
And Good Shot loves fruitcake.
Reston says, I love you guys. Find good deals at the cons. The few cons we have, the prices are almost double what they should be. We see a lot of that too. But, you know, we find the deals. We pick for them. We try. Munin says, I don't want to see the 5,000.
No, 5'2", 120 pounds.
Oh, beating up 57-foot armed men single-handedly. Let's not ruin Highlander legacy. In a wheelchair with swords like this. Blue Splash said, have you ever heard of the Toy Pit in Indianapolis? It's a humongous store full of toys. No, I have not been there.
And then we also watching another one we started watching last night from the comic book from oh God, and it has Prime Time and Hard Case.
Oh, Ultra Force, based on the Malibu comic.
Yeah,
they had a line of action figures too. They're pretty cheap, actually, because you know people just kind of forgot about Malibu comics. Road Pig says Spiral Zone was a good cartoon. The toys were too big. G.I. Joe scale would have benefit that type of toy line. Yeah, and people they did that. That's like, for example, the Mattel Brave Star. It didn't match up with anything. It was too big. It's like an 8-inch figure. Gilgamesh,
Oh
they're
man.
making a third movie in the 28 Days Later series. This one's called 28 Years Later.
Oh gosh.
All right.
28 days and 28 days later, however it went, those were pretty decent. I don't think you need any more.
That makes me think of when they made fun of Look Who's Talking on Saturday Night Live back when it was still funny.
Mm-hmm.
And they titled it Look Who Else Also Is Talking To or something. They just made some crazy long title for it. And and it went beyond just the babies talking, and they had like the furniture and coats and hats and things were talking in the movie. Thomas says that Miss Kmart tracks tennis shoes. We were listening to the 76 vintage Kmart Christmas music. Yeah, because they had their own. I forget what that was called. Where they a lot of those stores have their own radio station. Mickle says Lucky Pee Wee at the end of that special was amazing. All the kids will get no presents because you got them all. That was my favorite bit with the Santa Claus when Santa comes and he says, well, I'm really done, Pee Wee, because you got so many presents on your list. There's nothing left for anyone else. And Pee Wee said, oh, really? Oh, that's too bad. Well, let me know how things turn out. Little bastard. That was funny. King of Cartoons played my favorite movie Vampire, says Meemaw. Oh,
that was the black guy, right?
Yes, he was Blackula.
Yeah, that movie.
That movie was actually pretty fun. That was a good one. Uh-oh.
Hey, David.
Yeah, there's David. He says, late today. Thanks for the weekly update videos every week. So far, it's been great with nothing of interest to buy. That's okay. Save those pennies. Save those pennies.
David loved Ultra Force.
Only 13. Yeah, it was a Saturday morning show. So 13 episodes, one season. Action Joe Figs is here.
Hey, Action Joe.
Glad you could make it. And Gilgamesh has the Mattel Creations Origins Night Stalker today on eBay. New with shipping, it was less than retail. Wow. I don't think he sold well. I've got Santa right here. Come here, Santa. Here's my Santa. I said, come here, Santa. I've got Santa kidnapped for the holidays. You can't hardly see Santa.
That's good, as I'm saving for Custom Popeye, the movie. Wim Duvall figures. Okay.
Oh, okay. From with
of Shazam. Yeah, the little boy, and he's all stupid acting.
Yeah, and that which was an interesting premise for the character, because it's like then he looks like a man, but he doesn't know how to act like a man.
Yeah.
And then he'll say things or do things, and people are like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" You know. And he always talks about himself in third person.
Yeah. And then Hardcase figures it out once he turns back into. He's like, "You're only a little boy."
Yeah, Hardcase. He was like, "Oh, now it makes sense."
Yeah.
Hey, kid, it's okay. You know, and he brings him down, talks to him about it. That made it made a lot more sense. It was an interesting premise for a character because everyone else is a copy of something.
Yeah.
Like you know, Prototype is obviously an Iron Man ripoff. You know, stuff like that. Looking at it purely from a writing standpoint, that I guess you could say that Prime is sort of a Shazam character.
Yeah, because he can change.
Yeah, but the method of change is unique because he has that ooze that comes out of him.
But the ooze also does things, because you remember it got onto that thing.
Yeah, when he tore the cape off and put it over him, it melted him.
Yeah. So he was like, "Oh, I didn't know the ooze did that." Hey, how you doing, Christopher?
Hope you had a good Christmas.
Yeah.
If I'm with LPH, I'm having a good time any day of the week. Because she's my better half. And then I have Santa.
Yeah, okay.
As my store display Santa that I found at that
flea market.
Yeah. Found him at the flea market. Guy didn't want him. He really didn't want this. And he was extremely inexpensive. 3 feet tall. Exactly 36 inches tall. Robert says, what were those Popeye figures that came in a plastic bag along with Bugs Bunny and other cartoon characters? You're thinking of the Dakin figures. Early 70s, like 1972, 1974, Dakin. That's what that is.
Yeah.
and they were 5 points of articulation mixed media. And I'll show you one here real quick. I got a couple hanging over here to give you an idea. Here's Elmer. See, there's the Dak and Elmer Fudd. These are great, and most of them are not that expensive, and they came in a bag like this. It looks like a little shopping bag. It just says Elmer Fudd on there, and he again, shoulders, hips, and neck are jointed, and he's wearing real clothing. He's wearing real clothing in there.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
they did a lot of Warner Brothers characters. They did United Kings Features characters like Popeye, Smokey the Bear, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And one of these toy lines that's just totally been forgotten about at this point. Most of them are inexpensive. With the bag, it's a little bit more expensive, but you can get the figures with just the hang tag, because he has a little hang tag there. Would be a lot less expensive.
Pit ripped off Hulk, and Hulk ripped off Pit.
Oh yeah, Pit.
Mm-hmm.
Pit was Pit Malibu? No, that was Image, wasn't it? Pit was Image Comics.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher says Santa Claus standing guard. Yes, he is. He's got to keep an eye on everything. Isn't that right, Santa?
No, I don't need any Ultra Force figures. Pretty cheap.
They are even the exclusives, because there's a chase with those figures.
Oh, really?
Where the card is black instead of the traditional color card.
Mm-hmm.
And it's some kind of limited edition run with a different paint scheme. Even those are cheap.
Oh, wow.
But back in the day, back in the 90s when they first came out, they were not cheap at all. They were expensive.
Oh, man.
But, Malibu Comics went away. And,
yeah. I think I have some of those comics. The
characters were forgotten. Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
The characters were just forgotten about. So, yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? But, it's just like with the Wildcats, because you got that set of Wildcats figures. They're not expensive at all.
Mm-mm. They're not. And the cartoon was good. It was rushed.
Same thing with this one, because the Ultra Force feels like they're plowing through it too.
Yeah.
But that's an unfortunate side effect of many Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah. And I read some of the comics, because I do have some Wildcats comics, and but I don't have the whole set.
Yeah.
So I read a bit here, a bit there. Then they had the Grifter comics to try to put things together. But again, I don't have the full run, so it was a bit here and a bit there. But it looked like it was going to be pretty good. But I needed the full run to put everything together.
Yeah.
Pit was by Image.
By Dale Keown.
Oh, okay.
And that's what Jay Well is saying there, Wetzel, that the Pit was Image. Gilgamesh the 10th was another Hulk ripoff by Image. I actually liked those comics, though.
Oh, okay. We got
so
a bunch of Image and Malibu comics. So many Optimus Prime memes, but no Prime superhero memes.
And Mutant says most of the 90s figures haven't done well in terms of value over time. And it depends. I mean, there are some of them you got to wait for it to catch up.
Yeah.
Because those are the that generation is just starting to come into it, and we're seeing things starting to spike.
Like the Swamp Thing, the shadow is starting to pick up.
Yeah.
So, it's just give
Earthworm Jim is starting to move a little bit.
Give it about another 10 years.
The one that got me was Ronin Warriors suddenly has started to spike. And that was I think it was on one of our lists. But it's a lot of them are no longer around the $50 range, $50 to $75 range. They're starting to move. And obviously Exo Squad.
Oh yeah,
really blew up.
Yeah, that's way out there.
Yeah, Exo Squad really blew up as far as 90 figures. But yeah, now's the time.
Yeah.
If you see any 90s lines and you're like, yeah, Aliens Predator is starting to creep a little bit. Terminator, not so much, but give it time. Because that was part of the same Kenner lines.
Robert wanted to know how Hobo's doing.
Hobo's doing great. And Hobo dog piles in that one habitat, because those kittens, which are no longer kittens, they still try to get in there with him. So he's in there with at least 2 other cats snoozing every night. He's a happy little fat orange kitty now.
Wow.
Mickle.
No, I'm not interested in the
The Mezco
Mezcos.
Space Ghost.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, those are expensive. They did two. They got a colored. They both look the same, but the second one has glow in the dark features, and the Gleep. Is it Gleep? No, that's not his name. The monkey
Mm-hmm.
is transparent and glows in the dark instead of being fully colored.
Yeah, we're still watching Dallas.
70s meets the 80s
We
toys.
didn't watch it this week. We
No.
watched it last week when last week is when JR announced Bobby was getting married and Pam is about to have a nervous breakdown.
And that's the stupid girl is like sneaking around with that waitress's boyfriend
I don't know what's up with that. Why she's so
because she's
interested in that
stupid.
guy.
Custom God liked Pitt.
So yeah, that's where we are in Dallas. We didn't watch it. We didn't watch any of our shows this week because just as a holiday and everything, and we was watching a bunch of holiday specials.
Uh-huh.
So we probably get back to it next week.
Gilgamesh says McFarlane did one Wildcats character, Grifter.
Yeah.
He's hoping he'll do more. That's because DC bought that character out.
Yeah, he shows
He's in
up
DC now.
in the Flash, in the animated Flash, where he goes back to the past. What's that? Flashpoint. He's in there for like a second, and then he's in a couple of other DC books only for like a second. So
Yeah. Christopher says his friend said Transformers 1 is good, and he's picky about the stuff the way we all are.
yeah, the McFarlane Grifter I actually have because I like that character.
Uh-huh.
I like that character in Wildcats, and his book is pretty good. It's more, you get more of who he is and what's
Mm-hmm.
going on because they hint at some stuff in the cartoon, but in the book you get a better understanding. But like I said, because I didn't have the whole run, I never finished it because it's continuous. It's not standalone story, so you kind of gotta,
Yeah.
you know, read it in order. Ronin Warriors have gone. Wow, really?
Yeah, when they started reissuing them, I think it rekindled people's curiosity about the Ronin Warriors, which was by Playmates originally based off the anime. And that it started to creep up because a couple of years back you could get them for around $50 a piece. Now not so much.
What about King of Arthur and Knights of Justice figure prices?
I'm not sure about that one. King Arthur, Knights of Justice. I'm not sure about what those are going for. Jay Wetzel says his only 90s in the box are Dr. Octopus and Samurai Leo. Dr. Octopus would be Toy Biz at that time. Blip
is
was
a
the
monkey.
Gleep was the monkey from the Wonder Twins. I forget.
Billy Mays. Oh.
And Mickle enjoyed watching the Christmas gift opening video. People were very generous.
Yeah.
A lot of cool stuff. Thanks for uploading that on Christmas. It was a great time.
Oh,
well, we
you.
appreciate people thinking of us and even doing anything like that in the first place. This is not required. I know I have a crown, but tribute is not necessarily required.
Yeah, Grifter was part of the Jim Lee story.
Yeah.
He was created with Jim Lee and the Wildcats and all of that. He was a part of that. And I don't know why DC didn't acquire all of them.
Yeah.
But just that character for whatever reason. I guess they felt like they could do more with him because he had more of a seedy background, I guess. Plus he was human and everybody else was like the one guy was a cyborg.
Kind of mutants, yeah.
Yeah, and then the lady, she was from outer space. So everybody, I mean, I guess he was like the only human from Earth. So I guess they felt I don't know. As I'm just guessing, I guess they figured they might could do more with him. I don't know. But yeah, his story is pretty good if you read it from his books. You read them, they're actually pretty good. Went up so much in price. Oh, because it's anime.
Yeah,
I doubt it.
Then how come the old Matchbox Robotech is still so cheap then? Ooh, no. Edwin says with the outside cats, do you worry about fleas? No, I treat them.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them I can manage. I can handle. I can get close to them. And if at some point in the summer, at the peak of that,
Yeah.
there's that treatment. It's like a syringe, and you squirt it right between their shoulder blades,
Mm-hmm.
and it soaks into their skin. Fleas and ear mites, it drives them away.
Mm-hmm.
Fleas, ticks, and ear mites. So if with all of them, I'll give them that treatment.
Yeah.
There's just as a couple that are kind of skittish, and you got to sneak up on them, but a lot of them will let me handle them, so it's not so hard to do that. And I don't do a bunch at a time, because if anybody tries to groom somebody else, you don't want them licking that stuff,
Yeah.
because it'll make them sick if they eat it. So one at a time, and just to so they don't have to deal with that discomfort.
I don't know who any of those people are, so I don't want to hang out with any of them.
Billy this and Billy that. I don't
Yeah.
know who they are either. I don't think.
Yeah. So none of them.
And Blue Splash says, "What do you always think every time you turn around? There's always an anniversary of this or that show, and toy line of this or that." Yeah, I don't
I
worry
don't
too much
care
about
with that.
anniversaries. They do too much with the anniversaries, because it doesn't need to be. Um, there doesn't need to be a milestone for every break. Because like with marriages, even you get what you get your 10, your 25th, and then your 50th. But with Batman, I got to celebrate it every 5 years, right? I mean, give me a break.
Well, they're doing 40 years now.
I mean, they do
Everything is 40
everything 40
years.
years, and then it'll be 45, and then it'll be 50, and then it'll be 55. I mean, give me a freaking break. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, well, maybe. But for some reason, they only just use him. When David wears the crown, tributes is only required if he's beating you over the head with his mace.
Yeah, I know. I got to get the crown and bring it to the shows, and I'll just walk around. I'll pull a wagon and demand that the dealers fill it up. Put your goods into my wagon.
Are Shogun warriors and Ronin warriors the same thing?
No,
Mm.
they are not connected. And Renard says, "Did they ban Charlie Brown's Christmas?" Well, Apple owns it now,
I know they
so
talked
you can
about it
only
a couple
watch
of
it
years ago.
unless you own it. You can only watch it with them.
Your top 3 favorite properties to connect. I know that a big question.
Yeah.
Definitely interested.
Well, I mean, I've got stuff that is completed that's like a top one, like the Remco McDonald land back here. I love those, but I'm done. That is the whole set. That is the whole set. But that's one of my favorites. The Mattel Shogun Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I really like those. Um, in humanoids, but again, that's close to being finished. GI Joe 60s through 80s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 70s and 80s Star Wars. If some of that stuff, or if I could say $6 million man, but stuff's so freaking expensive now. It's just hard.
Yeah.
It's just really hard. Max says, "I guess it's almost the New Year's already. Hearing gunshots in my area." Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh, Gilgamesh wants Sailor Moon from Irwin.
Yeah.
The figures don't look that great, but I loved the show.
Mm.
I watched Sailor Moon. I used to watch Sailor Moon used to come on before Dragon Ball Z and then Ronin Warriors.
Mm.
But I have watched Sailor Moon. It's kind of silly, kind of a silly show. I'm not sure what the Irwin figures go for though right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what they go for right now.
Was not
Christopher
on
thinks that Charlie Brown's Christmas belongs on CBS. Well, Apple owns it now.
Yeah, but it is kind of hard to watch. We watched it this year. I ain't like it.
I like it because I get it. I get it. So there.
I guess so.
I totally get it. But yeah, I'm going to wear that crown and I'm going to drag that wagon and I'm going to pound my chest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the king. I'm the king. Do you know who I am, sir? I'm going to go straight up Sheriff of Nottingham on them and demand that they fill the wagon up.
I know it's the people in our neighborhood, they have a big old show, um, fireworks show. It goes on for about an hour.
Yeah.
They
Well,
do it up around here.
I don't really care to see it though.
I won't mind seeing it if I could see it unobstructed.
Hmm.
But if you got to watch it through buildings and a million people, then no. But if you can see it unobstructed,
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I used to watch Sailor Moon with my daughter since Cuss of God.
Did you? Yeah, I used to sit there with one of my kids and we'd watch that block. And Sailor Moon, I think, came on first.
Wow, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Hmm.
On Saturdays, like 5 a.m.,
Yeah,
says
that's what
Blue
David said.
Splash. Goodness. And Christopher says it's weird, no Rudolph on NBC. I know the Rankin Bass stuff.
Yeah, the little drummer boy is good. We watched that this year.
Yeah.
I
It's
like that
sad
one.
though. It's not what you expect, and
Yeah.
it's not funny.
Mm-mm.
It's that
Compared to the other
yeah,
Rankin Bass.
that one and the little donkey are not funny. The rest of them are kind of comedic,
Mm-hmm.
but those are not. They're pretty serious. They're pretty serious stories. Munin says it's been a while since I checked on the Irwin Toys Dragon Ball Z figures online. I remember the girls being obsessed with Sailor Moon. Yeah, I don't know what those Irwin figures are going for these days. I know the older, clunky looking Bandai Dragon Ball Z figures don't go for a lot. At least the ones I've seen, they don't seem to go for that much. They seem like it seems like the new ones are cost more than the old Bandai's, but they're pretty ugly looking figures
Oh
actually.
yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty goofy. Gilgamesh says, "Have you seen? If you have the crown and wagon, you can train the cats to pull you."
Yep.
Oh yeah, they'll all try to go in a different direction.
Oh, sorry, cats ain't gonna do nothing but lay there.
And Mickle says Toonami was Thundercats, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, and at night it was Adult Swim, Cowboy Bebop, FLCU, UU, Hakusho. Loved that old programming a lot, of course, Space Coast, Coast to Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Trigun being on. So, yeah, Trigun and Cowboy Bebop.
Mm.
Road Pig says Robotech Matchbox line has some very difficult pieces to collect, like the SDF-1 playset. Looks like an airport. Oh, yeah. But, most of those figures, they're pretty cheap, though. Most of the 1/18th scale, the 3 3/4 inch, even the doll size ones don't go for a whole heck of a lot. Oh, but they were made by two different companies. The cards are similar, though.
We haven't bought really any toy store exclusive in 2024, so we don't know because we don't buy those any
Yeah,
of
we don't buy
those.
a lot of modern stuff.
Mm-mm. I mean, in
Really.
the modern stuff that I buy, I only get it online. I
Yeah,
don't go in
that's
the
what Jay
store.
Wetzel is asking. But I don't know what's scarce per se, but
Mm-hmm.
I know things were scarce
It
that
used to
ended
be,
up at Ollie's anyways, like the
yeah,
Crimson Twins
and
from GI Joe Classified. Nobody could find them, and then Ollie's had like a million of them.
yeah, and when I was collecting the Motu Origin, the what was it, the Battle Cat or the Panther? You couldn't find that thing at Walmart. Now you could go to Ollie's and it's like 50 of them on the shelf. So, but no, we haven't bought anything like that, store exclusives, in a long time. So we don't know
Yeah.
what's scarce, what's not.
Gilgamesh says they have some of those Dragon Ball Irwin figures. They're more like figurines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Munin says Cowboy Bebop's the show that turned them into an anime fan. Nickel, my family watched Muppet Christmas Carol, Home Alone, and Christmas Story. I watch a lot of YouTube channel Christmas episodes. Always a good
That's right, Home
time.
Alone. That's a that one's
Yeah,
pretty good.
because both
The
of those take
first
place
one.
on Christmas. There's a
Mm-hmm.
there's a Home Alone 3, but Kevin's gone.
Yeah.
They changed the kid. And Munin says that's what the live stream needs, more anime talk. Oh
No,
yeah,
it does not need
no.
more anime talk.
Oh my gosh,
It's my favorite, hands
that's
down.
Nickel Staple talking about Cowboy Bebop.
Hey, Max Mueller.
Max wants to know retailers you foresee closing in 2025.
I
Well, we
don't know.
already know that Big Lots has been spared. They dodged the bullet apparently, so they're not closing all their stores.
Hmm.
And then Party City is
Yeah,
going
that's
belly
cool.
up.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't really go to too many
Hmm.
retail stores. I mean, we go to Walmart.
That's what Road Pig says. Yeah, Harmony Gold and then Matchbox did the Robotech in 118. That's what it was. But they're like identical practically. And Mutant
Hmm.
says Trigun had figures made by McFarlane. Yeah, they're really McFarlane makes like statue figures too, though.
Hmm.
They don't move very well at all. I've got a coat that looks like the one from Trigun. Mine is black though, but it's identical to the one that he wears in Trigun, but
Hmm.
it's all black instead of red. Blue Splash says that's one thing I like about the monitor stuff. If you could buy it right
Modern.
online, modern, you don't even have to go to the store.
Yeah.
There you go. And Action Joe says, "Do you see how Disney botched Amigo Marvel 4-pack release?" Yeah,
Yeah,
we've heard
we
a lot of
talked about
complaints
that.
about that.
We talked about
Yeah,
that earlier. How a lot of people got their pre-order canceled like
yeah.
right away, like that same day, and that was ridiculous. How that, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to fix it.
Mickle says we don't talk about Home Alone 3. It's blasphemy.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about The Mask Part 2?
The what?
Jim Carrey. The
Oh,
Mask Part 2 where Jim Carrey wasn't in it.
mm.
You know how, or RoboCop 3 without Peter Weller because he wouldn't do it. Uh,
Or Batman 3, because Michael Keaton wasn't in
yeah,
Batman 3.
he wouldn't do the third one.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Well, they brought in Robin. I mean, that's bad enough. Link says my Big Lots are closing both locations and Party City.
Wow, your town got 2 Big Lots.
Big Lots, because Big Lots, I guess they managed to pull off a sale or a merger or something.
Who they gonna merge with?
11,
They're
I
gonna
don't
bring them
know.
down.
Yeah, kind of like Sears and Kmart, but
Yeah.
an 11th hour kind of thing. So some of the stores will remain. And Munin says the Black Vash has a black coat. You may see the figure again on your next show. Okay,
I don't know what none of
but
that
I've got
means.
that coat. Max says apparently Jim Carrey is open to coming back
Oh
in The Grinch
no.
and The Mask. Yeah, I heard
Not
he's
the
doing The
Grinch.
Mask. Well, the Grinch movie is not for kids, anyways.
Yeah,
Not
but he already did a Grinch movie. We're
yeah.
gonna do a part 2.
How could he do a part 2? He's not the Grinch anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
How?
he's not the Grinch. He's
So
not the
were they
Grinch
gonna just
anymore.
do it again with him?
I don't know what the hell he's gonna do. He's another he pretends, but he's another Hollywood sellout. He'll do anything. Uh, Gilgamesh has the McFarlane Tri-Guns. He got both waves from the early 2000s, several good Akira and Tenchi figures in that line. In that line.
Mm-hmm.
And Blue Splash wants to drive by the Big Lots tomorrow to see if it's closed. Well, they won't shut down till February, but they're going to be doing a gradual clearance, kind of like how Woolworth did back in the day.
Mm.
And Mickle says live action Mario movies, the worst they've witnessed personally, genuinely felt like they've been robbed of their time.
You'll never get that time back.
That had a set of action figures that you can find pretty cheaply, though.
Oh, really?
They're inexpensive. Yeah.
Mm.
And it was the guy who played Mario is the same guy who was the gangster in Unleashed. The
Oh.
bald guy
Mm-hmm.
with Jet Li.
What happened to Jet Li? You don't see him anymore.
He got sick, real sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he looks awful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you wouldn't recognize him. I don't know what to tell you.
Like Batista?
Yeah, but yeah, Batista claims he's lost weight to get better parts, but I'm like, yeah, right, man. Something happened to him, I swear.
He looks bad.
He does. He does. That isn't just I lost some weight. That is like I got sick, is what it looks like.
Yeah, he looks bad.
He does look pretty bad.
Link's dad worked at Sears when he merged with Kmart.
Yeah, but I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes, just about.
Yeah.
But we'll go ahead and sign off. And hey, thank you everybody who joined us here today. Special thanks to Pastor Rick, who made a donation to the channel to help out with our shelter cats,
Yes.
always appreciated. We need all the help we can get with them. Thank you, everyone else who joined us this evening. Hope you got something out of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.